trustworthy in Europe.
If it knows how to do it,
I
don't
well,
know.
yeah,
I trust
that was
it
the one
more than I
thing.
trust my phone listening to me.
When,
Put it
when,
that
when
way.
I went over to Europe, every website would basically pop up and say these are the cookies that we're going to try and track. Would you like to opt out of all of them? Like, yes, I would. That's not
Yeah.
something that you get in America.
Thank you for asking. I appreciate you.
Yeah, I
I can't
appreciate that.
stand-
Thanks.
I can't stand the fact when they pass that law of had to show it to you on every webpage. I can't stand it. It's like I just wish it was like it's just a pain in the ass every time you're looking at an article. You had to hit the got it button. And it's like I just wish I don't really care at this point. Just fuck my privacy. I don't have it
I'd
anymore
rather
anyway.
know that they're trying to be compliant.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
like
Just for
privacy,
my own sake.
it doesn't really. Like for example, everything about like when you like if you have Face ID on your phone, everything about all the fucked up pictures that are on there, it's just like you like, in your bed, like as you're just trying to get your phone to work.
Yeah. All right, so
So at one point, like they
Yes.
will have gotten a
Paint us
photo
a
of your
picture.
junk somehow. They will have gotten a photo of your junk somehow.
Oh, they just had to look at the
Well,
camera roll. I mean, what?
It's easy. Just don't take pictures of your junk and store them on your phone, and you're fine.
there is one person in the world that has a picture of my junk. Hopefully, they just dispose of it. So, because that was like 20 years ago, and it was some chick, and then she ghosted me. She was the one who asked me.
I'm sure my
Oh,
dick is
yeah.
out there. I'm sure like 20-some-year-old my dick is like out there on the internet somewhere at this point.
Yeah.
I just haven't
Yeah,
searched for it.
it's right.
I'll find it one day.
Yeah.
I'll find it one day. I'm like, oh, shit.
Speaking of text,
It'll be soon. As soon as I get big on Twitch is when it'll show up. That'll be my first drama.
That would be how it'd work. Yeah.
Or go
Plausible deniability.
or going back to the conversation of
mine.
like the kids, it'll be like some of my like 18-year-old AIM messages that I don't fucking even remember what I said ever, and it's a completely different person. But I'm like, now you're in trouble. Like, yeah, it sucks.
Say it's not you. Not me.
All right, so I'm going to do a little quiz here. We're at the beginning
Oh.
of this session, and just kind of see what everyone has retained. Don't feel bad if you don't remember shit. We've been very loosey-goosey about this, myself included, but we're layering this shit, right? So, what happened last session? What are the important things to you guys that happened in last session, and what's coming up?
The Android sucked at anything security check wise.
No, you did a good job. You did a good job.
I didn't. I fucking sucked.
No,
I
you did
failed
a
like
great job.
3 times.
You
I
failed
almost
on
killed myself.
some details. Yes, you did nearly fry yourself, but you were also
That's
dealing
right.
with several different entities that had breached the security of the Thistle Spring Agency.
Sure, but with a plus
but-
10, I mean, Jesus Christ. I mean, how the fuck? did I
Well,
roll
you
that
did
bad?
track down 2 out of 3 of the folks who had infiltrated. Do you
I did.
remember who all that you that had breached the security? Do you remember that?
Oh God! I mean, I know one of them is someone who Flame rolls with, or has communications with.
Almost right.
Yeah. And then, God, it was an fuck. It was a
That's
lord.
okay. It's okay.
I do not. Sorry, it's been a minute.
No, it's almost been a month. It's fine. So there were 3 different folks that had breached the Thistle Spring Agency. Number 1 was your goblin friend.
That's right. God damn it.
Yep. There was who
Yeah.
kind of has developed like a simultaneously antagonistic and also a kind of rivalry sort of.
He's my rival.
A little bit, like
Best friend.
he's definitely he's giving you.
You see me, Neji?
He's
You
giving you
see
access
me now,
basically
Neji?
a server he's set up in his in the Goblin territories below the agency. The second person was Sheena, who's Vincent's ally, which is Stell. Yeah. And then the third one was an unknown trace that you got to basically the boundaries of the Blue Rise Tower and then you weren't able to trace it further, and for
Yep.
several reasons why that would be the case.
Yeah.
So that was sort of your engagement.
Yep.
What happened with everyone else? Anyone want to volunteer?
I discussed with Boss Man about recruiting us a quartermaster, and then recruited Stell into helping me recruit.
Well,
said
specifically,
quartermaster.
you were interested in having Rufus pay for some weapon upgrades for you, if I recall.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and then, so basically Rufus, and we're doing a little bit of tweaking with the line there. It wasn't Vucknot, because I decided afterwards that you motherfuckers were
Fuck
not
nut.
a good fit for that name. Yep,
Fuck nut,
Fucknut. Yep. So it's now Rador. Rador Earthshield. He basically
Radar.
Rufus got into contact with this dude. Yeah, there's no name that I can choose that will not be twisted at some point, and it's fine. But anyway, Rufus had gotten into contact with Rador just through his previous work in the ASF. Rador has a long-standing contract with Icarus Icarus Endeavors, which is a corporation that is hosted in the Blue Rise Tower again, and basically has gotten himself into a contract that he can't break out of. So Rufus has gotten wind of this, and when Valk approached, like, hey, I want to do this thing, he's like, well, here's some work I need to get done. Why don't you handle it? And then Valk, you roped in Vincent at that point.
Yep.
And so you guys are going to begin to go about casing the joint the last we had left off, unless there was something else you guys wanted to follow down. Is that right?
That's about it for me.
Okay. Ross, what happened to you last session?
So, if I recall, met up with an old friend who was a little shady, but wanted me to introduce her to the boss.
Yeah, well, basically what she was kind of interested in is she wants to have, and her name is, I actually did create a note for that, Lamy, who is a old friend and mentor of yours, a Lashunta, who got recruited by the Starfinder Society. And you were kind of following in her footsteps, sort of. She had taught you about magic, she kind of was, and you were excited about this, if I recall, because it was like it was sort of your kind of thing. You want to see new life, you want to explore, you want to, do all that cool shit. And when you got to Absalom Station, the door is shut in your face. And that's when Rufus got in touch with you. But it basically, Lamy had kind of called you into a meeting, just kind of to touch base, but also she definitely had something of an ulterior motive. She eventually will want to have the agency do a job, and that's coming up. You haven't heard much about that. More interestingly for you was on your return trip, you had on the tram, you had kind of experienced a vision of what you think may be a potential future of Absalom Station, a future where the station was on fire, and death and scariness and not good shit. So that's kind of where we're re-entering. Erlo also had his kind of like brief exploration with his faith and trying to get his shit together, trying to find his bearings, but we're still kind of working on that one.
Our Lady of Perpetual Exemption Church, yep.
She would not start with Dark because it felt like he got kind of shafted in the last episode that we actually played.
Well, what I was going to ask is there's one big question that we're going to have to answer right off the bat, which is, at this point,
If I'm drunk enough,
and this is up entirely to Vincent and Valkyria. Are you guys planning on roping in the rest of the team, or are you going to try to do this on your own? And you can absolutely make some checks and ask some questions.
There's no offense given if you decide to do well, he's not even here.
I think for
He's here now. He's fine.
I think for that, we would case the place first, and then depending on the level of perceived difficulty of said mission, so to speak, is when we would pull in other people. But as far as I know, it's mostly just trying to bait the guy out or get me in so that I can talk to him. Because once I can talk to him, I think it's downhill from there. As far as like
Christ, the music.
meeting
What the fuck?
muscle, so to speak, not really necessary. It's one of those.
Do you need an amateur hacker?
You guys both, yeah, you'd be able to do that too. So I think what I'm gonna do is either Vincent or Valkyria, first of all, can make me a culture check, to kind of get just kind of a baseline understanding of what
Let
you're
me
dealing
see what my bonus is on it.
I've got a +8 to it, so I feel like it's probably best.
Culture. Yeah, it's best for you.
And if you two want to assist each other, like Valk, if you want to lead, Stealth will give you a +2 bonus on that.
That's an 18.
It's a hot.
That's absolutely enough to get the baseline. So here's the basic
So
deal.
if you say if I give him advantage, that's a +2, right? Or not advantage, I assist him. It gives him
If
a
you
+2.
assist him, it's
So that'd be a 20.
Then I'll do that and give him a 20.
Yep, and that's a pretty good roll. So, just give me a sec to pull up my.
I think
notes.
culture's the one that I have expertise in, anyways. So
Which is a good choice for sure. So, yeah, last session we kind of established that the Blue Rise Tower is basically this extraterritorial kind of zone on Absalom Station, and it's a gigantic tower, about 150 floors above, and also stretches down into the spire. This zone. And there's a huge amount of history that goes into this, but basically, the Blue Rise Association have sort of carved out this extraterritorial bit. They've done this because they've been able to funnel basically tax money into the correct coffers of the Primexes that would be able to squash this sort of arrangement. But largely, it's also because it's just messy. They don't want to squash local industry. There's a whole bevy of reasons why this zone has been sort of carved out. But what's important to note is that there are hundreds of corporations that have offices or have rented out floors or have taken residence within the tower. This is a huge complex. The first 5 floors are publicly accessible, so getting in is actually not a problem. It's the getting him out that's going to be the problem, because once you enter the extraterritorial zone, there's a couple things you're going to need to be aware of. Number one is they have legal rights within there. They're like, if someone gets caught within the confines of the tower, the ASF, the local police force on Absalom Station, they have nothing to do with it. The stewards who defend the Pact Worlds and, by extension, Absalom Station from any external threats or anything like that, they have nothing to do with it. You're dealing with the Blue Rise Association, which is sort of like the paid-for security force that kind of secures the building. And then you also have each individual security force of each of the corporations that they've hired. That they've hired their own security because there's so many different competing
How you doing,
elements
man?
in
How's
this
life
tower.
been? Don't mind me if it takes a second. I gotta pop.
They're
mute myself in
constantly
in
at each.
Discord.
There's corporate
use the
espionage
same
happening
mic.
all the time. It's a madhouse. So with a 20, what I could tell you is you can definitely get in. You'll have to go through a security checkpoint, and getting in won't be so much the problem. The problem really will be just like getting access to the guy and getting him out. And then Rufus also has provided you a bit of a file on the guy. And, basically, Rador has he's like 15th in a line of succession for the Earthshield clan, who are parked out in the Armada.
Yeah, I got my
Armada
moments. That's
outside
all
of
it
Absalom
is. You know, I
Station.
get in those moments and then I'm back to normal.
He's a younger dwarf,
okay.
roughly. He's
And
gotten,
you get it done. You
he
shred
got
those
heavily
muscles,
involved
Rich.
in
You shred them.
like experimental
Hot
drift engine research and development, that sort of thing. That's where his skill set sort of lies initially, and then the company that hired him got taken over in an acquisition, and he got diverted into the weapons program, which not his favorite thing. He was more happy with drift engines and shit like that. But about 5 years ago, he got into a little bit of a tussle and tried to get out, and he got set up basically, and he's on they're basically willing to cut him out entirely and cut off access to his bank accounts, everything like that, if he tries to leave. So it's kind of a tricky situation. Do you have any specific questions for me on that front?
There's one thing that I'm wanting to add real quick about this. Vincent, outside of getting information that could be generic, he would have kept this entire thing separate from Rufus. He would not have informed Rufus. It would be something trying to attempt to keep it on the down low. Just because that one, if there's any, I'll get into that some other time. But yeah, he's wanting to keep it on the down low.
What exactly on the down low?
What we're doing, as best as he can, and give as little information as possible.
Okay. I mean, Rufus was the one who contracted Valkyria to do this initially.
Oh, I didn't.
And then they roped you in. So Rufus would be basically in the loop already.
But
he knows you guys are doing this. And he's basically kind of washed his hands and said, it's your guys' team. You do what you want. And so...
and he would have kept as much information private as possible, and not spreading it to other people, because this is sensitive shit.
Okay.
So, yeah,
that's fair. I mean, it's entirely up to you how you want to handle that. But yeah, so with the 20 check, you have a good, firm understanding of what the culture and how this kind of work, or how the Blue Rise Tower kind of fits within Absalom Station. So probably the next step, there's a lot of different things that you could do. One, from just kind of visiting there for a couple days and kind of just doing some surveillance and seeing if you can get an eyes on this guy. That'd be one approach. Eventually you might get approached by the Blue Rise Association security forces, and they might have some questions for you at that point, but it depends on if they notice you. Because again, the first couple of floors of the Blue Rise Tower is open to the public, and it's a trade zone. There are shops, there are all sorts of... There's basically a big mall that's there. It's very well known, and a lot of people go to shop there because there's lots of cool shit, because all these corporations have set up shop.
Also, something else I want to add. We can get into that role play part of it when we get there. Actually.
Stell, just so you know, you still have to spend your skill ranks.
Oh, wait, what?
Yeah, I have 9 out of 18.
Oh shit, I do too.
Yeah. But yeah, so, and we'll say that kind of right now is, you guys are currently in the Thistle Spring Agency, just kind of, going over what you know and trying to figure out your plan of attack. Out this in kind of a private meeting room in the facility. Out in the lobby, you have Erlil, who's still getting orientation from Delara, who's getting him set up with ID, and also they've beginning. Rufus and Delara have kind of contracted out some work done. And Erlil, you've been presented with a wristwatch with a holograph AI that will pull up and answer any questions that you may have. It will do interpretation. It'll basically do a Google search for you or anything that you don't know. Basically, you're kind of assistant. It's still a little rough. They're still working on it, but there is that.
Even in the meeting room, if you like just dim, like just a little bit dampered, just a little bit, you can hear him go, "Damn it! Why isn't this thing, Cortana? What's the weather? The weather where? Damn it!" It's just here in the background.
It is a balmy 70 degrees.
It's like, where?
All right,
Here.
skill point spent.
But yeah, so the other things that are going on currently, like right there at one point in the agency, Rufus would have received some visitors, which a middle-aged halfling woman with 2 kids stops by, and who would be in the lobby at this point, just for a little bit of color.
Certainly not me.
Not
Yeah,
you.
not Vincent either.
Yeah.
I'll probably be in the lobby.
Yeah. Well, just let's do a perception and sense motive from anyone who cares.
Alrighty, I got a whole +5.
Let's do one for the hell of it. Let me find it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got a nat 20.
You said perception or sense motive? Perception.
Perceptive
Yeah.
as fuck.
That's fair. So, okay. You're just you're working on like the systems, and you're just just happen to be in a position to be able to kind of overhear and eavesdrop. Airlil, you are screaming. Airlil, you're screaming at your AI right now, trying to figure out how it works. It just
His ITAR.
you know.
Yeah.
Okay. Why aren't you listening to me?
Yeah.
But Ren, this woman walks in, and there's 2 kids, and they're like, one's just like this sweet little, kind of redhead who's kind of hiding behind the mother's leg. Little tiny halfling child, by the way, and then there's another kid who's kind of got, kind of green eyes, and he's a little bit more. He's a little older, but a little bit, I don't know, just kind of dopey. He's definitely got dopey kid energy, and Ren, you clock this pretty immediately. This has to be like Rufus's significant other, and potentially his kids. But there's roll me a sense motive.
Okay. It's annoying. So if you type in something into the chat, it basically says this is spelled wrong, but you can't right click on it and actually get the correct spelling. That's always cool.
I don't see that. The underlines.
We rely on you too much. I can't spell my own name anymore.
There.
How do I spell the heck? Thank you, Siri.
So which one do I need to roll there again there, Vaden? Sorry about that.
Oh, just give me a sense motive. Just kind of get the vibe.
Motive. Oh, I got a -2 to that. Awesome.
Chances are you won't pick up on this one. Yeah.
No, with a 1, not gonna pick up on that.
Android boy has no idea what the
done.
fuck's going on.
Nice.
Yeah, these human emotions just do not comprehend.
He just doesn't care. He gets the human emotions. Because his dad, he's not super, gruff and whatever. He's reserved, but he's got emotions, anger, and he stubs his toe. And he's got pain.
Yeah,
and he's got a raunchy sense of humor. Blue collar guy.
But yeah, so you're just kind of, they kind of have a cordial interaction, just kind of, talk about the kids, how they're doing, the kids are Davi and Davi and what was the other name? Shit. Got it. Davi and Ani.
Okay.
And just there's just
They're just numbers to him. He's pulling up their like he's pulling up their like their stat sheet. He's like he's just kind of like he's focusing on one thing. He hears them rambling, being kids. He goes ahead, he scans them, and he's bringing up their, they all have their system station ID, and he's like, fucking this doesn't matter. So that's why he's like not really paying attention to them.
Yeah.
Nothing important.
I imagine it's even just like if you like whatever glasses or whatever the fuck you have, like goggles, is like just
It's
pull,
fucking
it scans their chip real quick and is like, okay, there's the names. I don't give a shit.
Yeah, like, whatever. They're not even worth being in the system at this point. It's like, yeah, whatever.
Okay, so how do we want to approach this?
How old were the kids?
Is it 9 and something? Did he say?
Give me 1 second. I had that down here. Davi is 9 years old.
Look at that.
He is 8 years old. So, yeah.
There you go.
But they're very they're cute kids. They definitely actually. Which one would they approach? 1, 2.
One.
Davi, this kind of curly brown-haired little kid, he kind of goes right up to you, Ross. Assuming you're on the scene, are you?
Maybe.
Are you in the lobby, Ross?
Who walks into a lobby?
No, the office.
Fine,
Office.
Who's
Aren't they in the office?
The office? Yeah, who's walking into the lobby?
Office. I mean,
lobby.
This is the front of the agency, basically.
All right.
Yeah.
So they're walking through the doors into the lobby to just hang out.
The main area. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right,
There's
all right.
kind of there's like a front desk, and
Maybe their dad or mom is doing something.
There's like a little kitchenette kind of thing, for the break area. It's kind of open concept, whatever,
All right. Fair.
So
enough,
yeah,
fair.
Ross, would you be on the scene, or where would you be in on this particular day?
I might be in earshot, I guess. If I'm at the agency, then it's completely plausible I'd be hanging out reading a book or who knows what.
Yeah, just waiting for the next thing to happen at this point.
At this point, yeah.
Yeah, because right now you're basically all just kind of like you're employed, but you haven't really been given your first major assignment yet. This is you're just kind of off in your own kind of thing. As you're reading, this kid kind of as you're kind of just book open, you just kind of, as you kind of glance up for a second, there's this looming pair of eyes just looking right over the book's lip, and he's just like, "What you reading?"
A treatise on galactic principles of thermodynamics.
What a page turner! Someone shouts out of the room.
We'll give him a chance. Let's see.
Got any games on your phone?
He's got no, he's just gonna get a flat D20. Let's see how well he keeps up on this one. Treatise on electromagnetic. Are there pretty pictures in the book? He kind of leans over and
there are some charts.
flipping through.
Oh.
You want to see some thrust coefficients?
What are efficients? A furnishing?
Maybe this is something for the advanced class. There's a dude with wings. Have you seen him? I heard he has rocks in his pocket.
Oh, dude, wings? And he looks over. Oh, he does. And he rushes over. Nice wings. Can you fly?
Yeah, you want to go flying?
Ani, the other kid, kind of was like, "Can he fly? Oh, can he?" And she rushes right behind and kind of starts hiding behind Davi. So you have this like layered, two kids is like, "Oh, that would be awesome."
Well, I could take you for a ride if you want sometime. He kind of kneels down. Also, want a lollipop? He took it out like the jar that's on every fucking office table. He's like a green one and a red
lollipops! Hell yeah!
But you'd have to ask your mother
heck
first.
yeah! Sorry.
You could
Yeah,
lick
watch
my
your
lollipop.
language. But if you ask your mother and she says you can fly with a random person she never met before,
This kind of like older, also kind of bright red hair like Ani. She introduces herself as Ellis, and
hello, nice to meet you.
mhm. And she's like, "Yeah, you can just be careful with them."
Right.
And
All right. And Ayla kind of
be
grabs
sure
one
to
and each of
turn
her
to them.
arm like this, you know. I'll be back
Mhm,
with them.
mhm. Rufus kind
he
of
kinda-
gives
he
the
kinda-
nod off.
He kind of
too,
gives
you
a
know?
way. He kind of weighs him, like, you know, like with his hands, like, yeah, you're fine.
Yeah.
And he just
Yeah,
goes out.
yeah.
Yeah, you see the doors kind of like he just runs forward, the doors bust open, and you just see him like launch off the ground, and the kids are like screaming.
Yeah, yeah. Give me let's say a dex check. Let's
Give me
or
a Chris Hansen.
Oh no,
A Chris Hansen
Dex.
check.
Dex. Let's see.
if actually I would it could be acrobatics as well.
Oh no, acrobatics. They both
How do you
use
have a
Dex.
negative?
They use Dex, dude. You just gave me two of the same options anyway. I'll do a Dex, not a negative one.
No ranks. Yep, yep. Why do you have so many check skills? You shouldn't have that many trained skills. I think
I
it's
don't know.
busted again.
Oh,
do
did you
anything.
break the game again, Dar? God
That's a
damn it.
10. That's a 10. It's exactly what I
That
got
is
in
a
Dex.
10.
Have a seat.
I dropped the kid.
kid.
Don't kill a kid, dude. This is only episode 4. Where else are you gonna go?
Well, you know, sometimes the plot generates itself. Oh.
Wait, do I have an inspiration die?
I
Where
hear
do I
an
see
8
that?
and a... Wait.
Before I kill a kid.
Is Game Master Dar or is Game Master Maiden?
Vaden.
Oh,
Wait a
actually, you're on that one, dude.
They're over that
No,
one.
no. No, that wasn't
So
me.
you do some.
No, that's what I'm saying. It's not you.
Yeah, you do some. This was a deck save for both of them.
Right. Wheelchair. It's like, well,
you do a couple like spins and flips and everything, and you know, Davi is clinging on for dear life, but you know he nearly slips 1 second, but he's able to hang on. He's like, awesome, awesome, and then Annie does a tumble. Do a deck save for me.
Oh fuck. You should
What?
get a deck,
Can it
though,
be
kind of.
charisma? Can I just smile at them?
Charisma decks? No.
You can't smile this kid to safety. I'm sorry. Okay,
Okay,
yeah.
that's
So,
okay.
You're
so
fine.
she drops for a brief moment. There's like a 5-foot tumble where she screams, and then you swoop down, all dramatic, and then she's laughing and giggling.
And I pretty much
Yeah.
reposition him at that point and just give him a nice lackadaisical fly around the city. Not to
Yeah,
scare the
yeah.
crap out of them.
You got a good aerial kind of view of around the ring there. You know, you're able to kind of explore the. You kind of do kind of a route along the eye, and you know, it's very pretty. You actually draw a crowd too. There's you know, along, you know, in some neighborhoods of the eye there, where it's kind of, you know, the park areas, you know, you see some people kind of pointing up and you know, pointing at you flying around. It's kind of it's a spectacle for a brief moment.
Halo's waving at them, you know.
Mm.
Hello!
Drops a kid. No, kidding.
Okay. Well,
And then he brings it back to Juliet.
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
We'll switch scenes briefly.
They need new
here, back
pants.
to Valkyria and Vincent here. And so, how would you guys like to approach this? Like, how would you like to start your case?
Is Stella even back yet? You might just go just one of them.
He's here. I think he's just eating.
Oh, I'm here. I'm here.
Oh, okay, he's there.
I'm not eating yet. I was messing with the food, but
Gotcha.
yeah. From the first interaction that Vincent had with
Drink.
Valkyria,
I can hear you.
as soon as, hang on, I'm swapping back to the computer.
Yeah.
Big cake.
Okay. From what I was saying is that after that first interaction with Valkyria, after that Valkyria pulled Vincent aside to talk about the job, as soon as he left the room from having that conversation, he would have gotten a hold of Sunny and or tried to at least, and start asking her to pull some information or to get as much information as that she could about this place. As in, like, plan layouts, what to expect from any resistance in the building. Anything, any information that Nat 1. Holy shit! You're not allowed to roll tonight. You're not allowed to roll.
Um,
It's 2 Nat 1s, baby. It's 2 Nat 1s.
This feels good.
Can I cheerlead her so that she has advantage? Can I cheerlead her?
Okay, so how this works out is you call her up and she's like, how does she approach this? Vincent, hi. Kind of busy right now. I'm we're hold on.
Flicking the
And then
bean.
she mutes and then she comes back on. Okay, so I might be preoccupied for the next 4 hours. We're doing a raid right now, and yeah, I gotta heal. Bye.
Listen to this, okay? Keep up.
Right.
Story stuff.
So you just got ghosted by a game, basically.
I mean, as one does, as one does.
We're
On a nat
rating
one.
Savage right now.
Yeah, she is totally rating Savage right now. Absolutely. With like a shit team.
With Final Fantasy, what was it, 31?
Yeah, Final Fantasy 31. That's the new Titan raid. It's hardcore, dude. Titan never dies. All right. Close those real quick. Yeah, that's kind of incredible how badly I've been rolling. We'll
Can
see.
you let
how
one
this
of us roll from you from now
no, because that's fate, buddy.
on?
One thing I did decide in this game, normally I do fudge rolls in my previous games as necessary. This time, I'm going to try to let it ride as much as possible.
They'll even kill a damn kid.
Yeah, the dice were about ready to. You're fine. You had the situation under control. What? Don't worry about that.
Yeah, completely under control. Like that entire drop was planned. That was definitely planned.
I wasn't
But
trying
yeah.
to do flips. I just burst into the door and just launched into the air. But all right, I'll do it.
With that Nat 1, Sheena will not be available for the planning session on this. She might be able to help during the execution, but planning, she's out.
Unless you get another Nat 1 during the execution.
Well, let's see how our raid goes. Actually, let's see how our raid goes. Let's just flesh out that fiction right there. Hold on here. She is going to do. Actually, I'm going to call that a profession gaming skill or check. It's not a good raid night. It's not a good raid night. She has the equivalent of Saint. I mean, what? What do I say? What do I say?
They keep hitting in rage, but they can't quite take the boss down.
Oh yeah. And yeah. And you keep getting lectured about how to do things. It has to be my way. So yeah, what's your next move?
So then he's going to do what he can, like, to get information himself, but he's not as savvy as she is. He's still savvy, but not as much as she is.
Are you going to want to do this on the scene itself, or are you going to want to try to do this remotely?
Going to gather whatever information I can from contacts I have, from whatever I can look up myself or anything like that. The less people that, I'd rather just do it remotely instead of showing around and the risk of somebody seeing.
Gotcha. Then in that case, make me a computers check. And Val, if you got anything you want to do, let me know too, and we'll follow up on that. You both are kind of together on this one.
I think she would kind of go around town, kind of sniffing around, asking questions discreetly.
Fuck these dice tonight, man.
What would he roll?
You have
Jesus.
You've never been as skilled on the whole tech front as Sheena has been. And in this moment, you definitely realize that you are this is a deficiency that you have, where without her sometimes you're a little bit spinning your wheels.
Which is shitty because I have a +7.
Yeah. But I think that one more represents just like you have over the last few months working with her, you have kind of developed sort of a dependency on her, I should say, on her services. And she's got her own shit going on half the time, so it's just to be expected, For you, Val, I think looking at your skills, the appropriate one, let's do. Sorry, I'm thinking here.
No, you're good.
I got a cheat sheet here.
Take your time. You got 10 seconds.
Yeah. It wouldn't be that. Would it be sense motive? See, one thing I do wish that there was kind of still an investigation check for this sort of stuff. It doesn't look like Starfinder has that. So that's what I'm struggling with. I'm trying to decide what would be the best thing. I probably would just have you do a perception check. I know that's not your specialty, but I think that'd be... Actually, we'll say this. Do a perception check, but use your charisma bonus to reflect how you're trying to gather information. Does that make sense?
Okay.
Oh, you can make an argument for another skill, too, if you'd like.
16.
Hold on. 16? Okay. And so you're going out to just kind of gather information? Are you going to the Blue Rise Tower itself and kind of trying to scope out the scene?
Kind of just asking around, figuring out what I can as discreetly as possible with it, without raising suspicions, but enough to like, what do you know about so and so, or like try to eavesdrop on people discussing stuff directly related to the company and whatnot.
Yeah. Okay. So with a 16, you kind of reach out to a few of your contacts discreetly. Not necessarily your supplier friends, but just other folks that you just met throughout your time on Absalom,
rubbing elbows and whatnot.
Yeah, you've gotten to know some folks when on your brief outings. And what you come back with is basically the current security shift leader you're able to get a ID on for the Blue Rise Association. And to kind of just explain the politics here a little bit, the Blue Rise Association is the hosting organization of the Blue Rise Tower. They're the ones that kind of like they hold the territory itself and have kind of etched out this space. When most people refer to the association, they're referring to the security team. And that's led by, or at least right now, it is led by a Jareth Zondar. I'll type that in chat so you can get the spelling there.
What's up, Rune?
Calling Bondar.
I know. How you
I'm
been?
gonna pop back
As a
into
mod,
the
no less.
phone. Push it. I'm hungry.
Okay.
Where are my notes?
Jareth Zondar is a drow operative that he has a similar sort of... What you've been able to gather is this. If there is a glorified mall cop that is out there, it is Jareth. He takes his job very seriously because he is like the 32nd in line with with the Zondar family, which is a family of drow nobles turned arms dealers throughout the galaxy. They're kind of bad boy. He got a bad boy reputation, and he is not that. He's most drow are beautiful and kind of the flawless skin, dark skin, the white hair. He's got the shortish hair, and by human standards, he's absolutely gorgeous. By drow standards, he's a little bit. He got a little bit of a gut. you know, he's kind of let himself go a little bit, but he takes his job super fucking seriously. Basically a mall cop with power and a laser rifle. He secures the first 5 floors and is basically on call for any of the corporations that may need additional assistance, escalation, that sort of thing. So he's kind of your antagonist at the Blue Rise Tower. He'll be the one that you'll probably be needing to evade. And you may see him in entering too, because there's a security checkpoint. Yeah, basically grindy. Jareth Ballart, Spaceball Cop. But that's who you're dealing with, so you got that piece of information.
Okay. I suppose after that it would kind of just be casing, trying to get down schedules of what I can see from the outside, like when they leave, when they come in, when they leave, where they go when they leave.
Yeah. So yeah, I'll have you do one more perception check then. This will be just with your normal modifier.
Yeah, flat perception.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. And this is a completely understandable failure. Basically, as you go there, you're observant. You know, you've in your interactions, you've gotten kind of good with people, but the problem is it's a matter of volume. There's a lot of people that are trafficking through that mall area, or that kind of the first 5 floors of the Blue Rise Tower. So being able to go in there and try to kind of observe schedules is a little bit difficult. You definitely know that there's like 4 or 5 security guards that can respond to a given call in those floors just on demand. And then they can call in additional reinforcements from the other floors. Because again, huge ass building. This covers at least 160 floors of different, you know, and there's service floors involved and just other teams that are operating. That's the team you're dealing with. There's like basically 5 kind of drow, or kind of a drow outfit that kind of plays security there that you'd probably be dealing with. So if you could distract them while you try to extract a guy, but you still have to get into Icarus Endeavors or lure the guy out somehow. So that's the components you're still kind of missing.
I think the follow-up to that I would take is I would test their security. Okay. So what I would do is I would try to find one of those fucking druggies on the street. Be like, hey, you want to make a few creds? Go to the Blue Rise Tower and cause some trouble. You don't have to do anything crazy. Just go in there. I'll slip you a little bit of creds. You might get kicked out, but it's not like you're ever going to be in there in your life anyways. So I just want to see what's going on and kind of just basically hire some fucking crackhead off the street to go cause some trouble and see how they respond and watch how the security plays out.
That is an interesting idea for sure. Let me... Let's have you do... You're not being dishonest, so have you do a diplomacy check just to see how well you kind of... what you're able to get someone to do. Okay. Okay.
This talking thing, this is where I'm good at.
This is your skill right here. So, let's see here. I'm just trying to pick music here. Okay, so what gang would you pick? Shit. I don't know. I'll figure that part out a little bit later. But basically, what happened? Yeah,
gang or not, it's just some fucking crackhead off the street.
Basically,
for their next score.
Yeah, you're able to find a couple gangers who are just like, shit. Yeah, I'll take a couple creds to raise some hell. You know, there's kind of 2 young punks that are like, fuck yeah, let's do this. And so you give them a couple creds. We'll say deduct 10 creds off of your account.
Sure.
And We'll just do a flat roll here. See how well we do. They do not do well. So their idea of raising hell, they decided pretty early on that they're going to just get themselves high as balls and go hang out and have some fun. And they get the first part done really well, really well. They get themselves high as fuck. Now the trouble they decide to stir up in the first couple floors. One of them got so high that he decided to strip himself naked and just run through the different floors there of the mall. And you're able to kind of see how the security locks it down pretty good. They definitely are in fast communication, and they were observing the guys as they entered. They had already kind of noticed that there was a problem. They did let them in just to see if they would, be able to extract some money out of them, basically. But after that, it was, they had a guy following them pretty much immediately. And they had them ejected within like about 15 to 20 minutes.
Okay.
But they were pretty much, you kind of were able to observe they were, following the whole time. Now, during this casing too, you're able to see that like they're very laissez-faire with who goes in, but you do notice that there's ID checks and cameras pretty much fucking everywhere. So getting in without being identified, without some basic like chip hacks on your identifier chips and everything, you would get flagged pretty quick if you had some prior history. Basically, these guys were young punks. They didn't have much in terms of like a record, so that's how they were able to get in.
Okay.
So yeah, but yeah, it seemed like it was that. You do notice though that there does seem to be a lot of corporate employees that are coming down from other floors and coming in doing lunches and shit like that. Most of them don't leave the tower. They go to entertainment within those first the public-facing floors, but they don't leave the tower. And it seems like you do notice like some corporate security coming down with different employees and keeping an eye on them. Anyone who might be trying to make a break for it. So it looks like they're relatively aggressive. So you'd probably need to run some sort of distraction in order to get someone out.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Right. Anything to add still?
I think he's doing his food thing.
He's listening, but he's muted. You're muted still if you're talking.
Yep.
There
Yeah,
you go.
I'm here. No, nothing really to add. I've already tried my part of it, and it didn't work out.
Hey, by the way,
Nothing really to
Baden,
add.
Yeah.
you know what would be a good idea for that? You might want to add a profession to Stell for investigator and use a charisma, so you just roll that as an investigation. As a profession.
It's not always going to be charisma, though. It's not always going to be charisma.
Okay.
Well, I'm going to figure out I'm going to try some different things and see how I like them. So.
Perception's usually what they use, but they said do a profession check as well as an investigator. Good work. So,
that makes
an option.
sense. That makes sense. That would certainly shift it from wisdom to intelligence, at least. But yeah, I'm with any of these skills. Like, if you make a good argument about, hey, could I use this modifier for this because of this reason or whatever, I'm usually open to that kind of shit. Actually, Erlil, make me a perception check as you return.
Let's see if the dice still suck. That's going to be a 22.
Not.
I got a plus
As you're
6 to that.
returning with the kids who are giggling and laughing and having a good time, as you kind of get to the front steps of the agency, you look across the street and you see that there's this, like, kind of probably in his late teens, maybe early 20s. There's a human, like, kind of with a red, kind of like, kind of puffed out coat.
Puffer jacket.
Yeah.
I don't know what
and
that is.
he's-
It's airlow, but puffer jacket kind of thing.
Yeah. But he's just kind of like sitting on a bench. But something about his eyes, they're focused. He's not just chilling. He's just hanging out right across the street. It's not much to go on though.
Airlow's gonna like he brings the kids he brings the
Can
kids.
we go again? Can we go again?
He's like, not now. I don't want to keep you out for too long. Remember, respect your parents. Be kind to people as long as you can, but do not take any gruff.
Thank you,
But
Mr.
always-
Airlow.
No problem. Now you kids have a good time. And
Hey,
Airlow's
they rushed in all happy.
and who would be closest to Airlow from the door?
Probably Ross.
Airlow's gonna like look over at Ross. He's like, "Come here a minute." And he's like, he's gonna walk outside. He's gonna light a cigar. But he's like, he just bought one. He bought one. But he's not. But he's not actually gonna smoke him. He's gonna light it and just act like one of those people.
Yeah.
He's gonna bring Ross out there, and he's gonna step outside. He's gonna kind of face the door, and then when Ross kind of like behind me, anything strange about that gentleman in the red coat?
Should I take a perception check? I don't know.
You can make a perception check if you'd like. If you'd like to try something else, you can too.
Yeah.
He's just before that. He's just said like something just feels off about him. My gut instincts are causing me to notice him.
Perception 19. So yeah, you kind of get the same kind of vibe. Like, so you're just seeing this guy, and he's just kind of like, he's got a little like handheld device. Like he's just kind of, doing the doom scroll. But his eyes, like, he keeps glancing up and just kind of, and every once in a while he'll just like raises the device just perpendicular and then back to it.
You're not wrong. Yeah, like this guy had actually something to do. He wouldn't be standing around here.
He's
obviously
acting.
waiting for something.
He's acting like he's looking at it, but he's really not. What do you want to do? You want to go over and say hi?
Why not?
Or do you
Nothing
want to
better.
watch him until he leaves? Two options, I suppose.
Well, you know what? Well, what do you think? If you think we should tip our hand that we know we're onto him, or you think we should let this play out?
Airlo kind of gives him like what you would call a shit-eating grin. He's like, stealth is not my forte. I do remember I'm a paladin now. Why don't we go over there and say hello?
Sounds good.
So Airlo's Airlo's gonna he's got another one of those cigars. He's gonna walk over. I love your jacket. Where did you buy that?
He gets up and starts walking down the street immediately, wordless.
All right.
Just kind of, it's a casual motion. He gets up. Roll me sense motive.
Sure. I can't bend this trigger finger. Sorry.
You absolutely spooked him. And
Gang signs.
but yeah, he just God damn it.
I can't bend my finger. Right.
Yeah, he as he sees you kind of like call out to him, he immediately just kind of stands up and then starts walking, and like he's trying to keep it casual, but like it's too fast. It's like he wants out as quickly as possible. He does not want anything to do with this now.
My spells.
Yeah.
I haven't changed any. I probably shouldn't. I think I want to keep them. Although, where's my spells? Hold on. I want to look at something. 1 second. I just gotta go to the compendium here. Give me half
Ross,
a
do you
second.
want to do anything?
Yeah.
Let me cast detect thoughts. No, that's not mind reading, right? That's not like a telepathy, right? That's just a sense of thought, right?
Oh, let's see here. Let's see the because that's your ability, right? That's your
Right, that's
racial.
just a native ability, so it's not even a spell
Yeah,
slot.
limited telepathy. Let's just read it real quick. A creature with a telepathy special ability can mentally communicate with any other creature within a certain range that knows the language. It's possible to address multiple creatures at once telepathically, although maintaining a telepathic conversation with more than one creature is difficult. Is just as difficult as simultaneously speaking and listening to multiple people at the same time.
Yeah, so that's just if I were to shout at him in his brain, it wouldn't really be reading his mind.
No, you wouldn't be reading his mind.
Yeah. So you know what? Let me let's do days.
Days. Do you have days?
I do. It's another natural Lashinto ability.
Oh Jesus, you
At
son
will.
of a bitch! You and your fucking abilities, man.
It
Is
days
that
them
part
all
of your
day long.
legit magic? Yeah, at will days. God damn. Okay. Okay. So short.
I have it
circuits,
too,
mind reading
though.
creature.
That's it is my cantrips.
What a gangbang him?
Yeah. I had a different thing I was gonna do to him. It'll make it even better.
So does he get a saving throw on this? Yes, he does. Which saving throw does it work against? Oh, where's that at? It's probably just against your spell your spell DC or whatever it is, right? It should be listed here if I recall. What is your spell DC? Where's that? I mean, I could just wing it right now. I'm still trying to figure it out. Where the fuck is that, though? Spell enchantment. One humanoid creature CR3 or lower, which fits. Spell type. It doesn't say the target. Oh, good lord. I will pull up the actual book then, real quick. Just give me one more second, dudes.
To the rules.
Learning
the
time.
window to the wall.
It's time for second edition.
I did hear that that's coming.
It's already in beta.
It is already in beta. I've heard that
You know
they're
so
trying-
much, Ross.
Very learned man.
Caster level.
Too true, Rune. Too true. Rune's in chat.
Hey, Rune.
Runes and chat. Holy shit.
I know. It's been years. He's been in Discord every day, but you know.
Where is this
Well.
shit?
Got stream.
He's also a mod.
Fuck it. Fuck it. I know how I'm gonna handle this. I'm just gonna let him roll, and we'll see if he can pull out of it or not. Just need to find the punk ass little bitch here, wherever he is.
It's me. I'm the punk ass little bitch.
It's me, Mario.
We're all punk ass bitches at heart. Okay, so they've got a saving throw of 0. We'll save. That's not gonna work. Yeah, okay, so he is absolutely dazed. What does daze do? The spell short circuits the mind of a humanoid creature, so they are dazed. They can't take actions, but no penalty to AC. You are unable to act normally. So yeah, as he's just walking, he just stops and just kind of.
Yeah, let's take this opportunity to catch up to our friend.
Yeah, me and Ross just like kind of come around him, like, like you know, and it's like, and like Airlo could grab one arm maybe, and Ross can get another and get the other side. It's like,
Yep.
Take a little flip phone.
And Airlo is going to try to intimidate him. He's gonna kind of lean in. He's like, "I know you're watching our place. What are you up to?" And I will tell you once. Do not lie to me, because you will not like what happens if you lie to me.
Go ahead, roll intimidate.
Let's see if it actually worked. I have to. Wait, I'm not going to say anything. Hold on. I'll wait for the roll. All right, I said I'd have to roll
That's
pretty
a
bad.
good roll. That's a good roll. Okay. So
Yeah.
you just see his like face go like white, and he's still stunned in this moment. I think it lasts for a round or two, doesn't it?
Yeah, but we're holding his arms now too.
Yeah.
He's not going too far.
Day's condition typically lasts 1 round, so this was in the span of 6 seconds. Basically, he stops. You two step up. You do your thing. So the spell wears off at that moment after the intimidate check goes off, and he he's saying, "Bolt still," and he kind of looking back and forth to each of you. Okay, what do you want to know?
Why are you here, firstly?
Uh, let's see.
You get the next one. You're the smart one.
Murder.
I'm just
Murder,
the charismatic or brute.
Good cop, bad cop.
Yeah.
Sure. And I'll just intimidate him further.
Bad cop, bad cop. I saw a TV show, but it wasn't like this.
It was cops. That's right.
Yeah. Stop resisting.
he kind of basically he looks at you, Arilil, and kind of locks eyes with you, and
there's no
he's like,
pupils at all. He's just looking at silver, like kind of domes.
Absolutely. And his eyes avert at that moment too, because of that. And he's like, "No, there's a group that wanted to just know who goes in and out. That's all."
His eyes kind of look from him and shift over to Ross. Is like,
Roll me
Go
a
for
sense
it.
motive, by the way.
it's going to be a 12.
It seems honest enough to you.
But Errol's eyes are going to look from him and back over to Ross real quick, as in like, you know more about this place than I do. He's like, but he will follow up with one other question, like, what people want to know about the place? What group are you with that asked you to do this?
I don't know. The boss told us that's what he wanted.
Erlo kind of like
That's
tightens.
what she wanted. I'm sorry.
Erlo tightens his grip on his arm.
Mm-hmm.
Who's your boss?
Of course, you'd ask for the name that I did not generate. Hold on.
Yep.
I swear I don't know.
Never heard of him before. And I'm not sure if because if it didn't exist a minute ago, or if I just don't know the world.
Procedurally generated bots.
Oh, he's AI, isn't he? I've heard about this. Just like you.
Can I make an argument on the sense motive check?
Mm-hmm.
Ross is telepathic. He
is telepathic. He can have a conversation.
Yeah, I can't like pull brain like memories out of his head.
I mean,
He
like
can't just
not
go,
even surface, not surface
not
thoughts even.
Professor X.
Like what he can do is like sometimes he can pick up on like, signals going out basically, but if it require the signal be going out at that moment. But like not always either. That's not a guarantee.
Mind
Some
bullets,
people can handle
Kyle.
their telepathic thoughts very well. Mm-hmm.
Men talk the mind.
We'll do. What's her fucking name?
Her name's Kid Rock.
Doja Cat.
I'm just pressing the button, waiting for a name that looks decent to me. Desi, D-E-Z-I. Let me just add that to my notes, so I don't have to keep looking this shit up later.
Is there a last name?
No,
Probably a lot of Desis.
Just Desi. Just Desi. That's our leader. Ross, was there anything you were going to try?
Yeah. So yeah, it's still on the intimidation querying this guy. So
With that roll, yeah, he's thoroughly intimidated.
Right, yeah, I don't even know if I should roll further. But it's like, so how much are they paying you to keep an eye on us?
Halo kind of looks at Ross. He's like, His face doesn't change, but you can see him go, I see what you're doing. Which he's telepathic, so he probably understand him because they're looking over his thoughts to him anyway.
That's a good question. Do you just beam the question in?
Yeah. I'm not.
Verbally say it?
Air Lil's an open book with Ross anyway, not anyone else.
I'm asking if Ross is beaming that question to him, or whether you're verbally asking, because two things can have two very different impacts.
True. Yeah, there may be other years. No, but yeah, you know what? So I don't know. Am I able to switchboard? Can I have a conference call with Erlo so he still knows what I'm talking about? Yeah.
You can include people in the conversation. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's what I'm doing. I'm keeping, and that's probably the most natural thing for a Lashunta.
You ask the question, he stiffens. It's just like, oh, what the fuck have I got myself into? And I would say even in that moment, just because he doesn't know what's happening, you get this like, oh fuck, is he in my head? And then actually he's gonna do a reflex save.
I'm in here too. Nail.
Because at this point he's panicked.
And I made a Christensen.
Nah. Yeah, that's I'm not even going to make you guys roll for that. He basically tries to bolt again, and you grab him, kind of hold him down. But there's kind of a flurry of panicked thoughts while he's trying to get his mind under control, because at this point it takes a certain amount of discipline to respond back in your thoughts and not just broadcast out, once you establish that sort of link, right? So the thoughts that you get kind of in order are, oh shit, I wonder if they know about Vincent. And then there's another panic, shit, did he hear that? Does he know that we're after him?
Yes, we did.
And then you get another flurry of thoughts, just like, shit, I fucked up. And he just kind of locks down at that point.
In head, of course, like, Ross, the boss wouldn't want us to let him go. We should probably bring him back to the office. Let him be investigated by the not as nice people as us.
Mm-hmm. That's probably for the best.
Let's go. And Errol's gonna let's take a walk back across the street for a moment. Don't worry. You won't be killed.
He goes as stone face as possible, but there's a slight tremor in his as you kind of guide him.
And Errol's gonna do one more. And Errol's gonna do one more intimidation just to really kind of soften him up. He's like, we'll see how long that face lasts when we're done with you.
Jesus Christ. Okay, roll it. Let's just see how well you kind of maintain or kind of reinforce. If you fail this, it's no big deal. He's still kind of shaken up.
But there's except Ross only is like, wink,
Mm-hmm.
Let's see, intimidate. Here we go. If I get another 20, he's mine. Okay, it's 23 though.
Jeez.
Okay.
Uh-oh. There's a face.
Interesting.
He's gonna bite a side-eyed pill.
Both of you make me a quick perception check. He looks he's trembling.
16.
Visibly.
And a 1, that one. Womp womp.
Yeah, that's fine. You guide him in. It seems like everything's on a level. You have this weird dude who is obviously casing it, and you're able to extract a brief moment where it's very clear that he was there's something about Vincent that he's interested in.
When Erlen brings him in, he's gonna be like to the kids, like, kids, Over in my room, I have some things I don't understand, but they look like kids' toys. Go look in there for a minute with your mother. Where's your husband?
Rufus and Ellis are kind of talking right by the corner there, and Rufus looks up and kind of recognizes something's up. He leans over. Delara, could you call in Comek?
Oh, Comek. Now that they're inside, he's like, oh, Comek, that's not good for you. And I'm not even trying to intimidate you now. I'm just being honest.
Oh yeah, he'll fuck you up. But yeah, so Ellis kind of takes the kids and there's kind of a brief like, well, we need to get going anyway. And I'll give you one more sense motive real quick, just kind of get some flavor for anyone who's there. And don't worry, we're switched back, guys.
And Harsh is here too. We can see this, so he can jump in anytime.
You're good.
Oh
You're
shit!
good.
So both of you would
High
notice
five.
sort of like a frostiness between Ellis and Rufus. Like they radiate divorced couple energy. Like something went down. Like there's a lot of really complex feelings that are kind of just right out in the open there that you're not sure how to read necessarily, but it all basically translates to two people with a lot of history and some resentment, but they're cordial enough.
Oh,
There's a
that's
kiss
right.
on the cheek
Ren.
that Ellis gives Rufus and says, have a good day at work, I hope everything's okay,
Come on, man.
be safe, and yeah, she takes the kids out. The kids do turn back and like, let's play again sometime, Airlil.
You absolutely got it, kids. Don't you worry.
And at this point, Comek comes out from the back and is, like, looks like he's just been like, yeah, he was just beating the shit out of a boxing bag, just kind of. So he's shirtless right now, in his lizard glory, and has two punching gloves basically still on, and he comes out. It's like, what's going on? And yeah, so Rufus kind of walks over and he's just like, so what is this? Who's he?
That's a very good question. A, he knows Vincent, and B, he has a boss named Desi that had him stake out this place. So I thought he should come over here, meet Comek, and we could all have a little chat. And they're looking at the pat on the back, like the middle of the back kind of thing.
Yeah. And this guy's just kind of, again, he's gone as stone-faced as he possibly can. He's definitely scared. He's a young, dumb kid. But yeah, so they, Comec's like, we have a place for you. Come stay with us. And he grabs him, lifts him up, and carries him into a kind of like a holding cell, basically.
And Ayla's like, no permanent damage, okay? Maybe he can be reformed.
And kind of just gives you a look. I promise nothing. And the door closes.
I don't know what I expected. Ariel turns to Ross as he says it. I don't know what I expected, really. I should have known better.
Rufus, he steps in for a second, steps out, and kind of like, little notepad he had just written down. He kind of steps over to Delara. Run this IT tag for me, please. I think that he's definitely flying Crimson Razor's colors, so I'm guessing that's who he's affiliated with. See if you can pull up any of his criminal history. Delars, you got it, boss.
Yeah, that's what he wanted.
Do you either of you guys inform Vincent?
Well, yeah, he's gonna say, get Vincent on the line.
Yeah.
And
so,
tell him what's going on.
That we'll say that this is kind of occurring like Valkyria and Vincent were in the side room. You guys have just gotten done basically doing some of your casing efforts to try to understand, Still, you're trying your remote approach and just getting frustrated, because you're not as good at this as Sheena is. Valk, you just got back from doing your kind of casing round, so you're able to report, security arrangements. And then there's a knock on the door, and Rufus leans his head in. Vincent, come with me for a second.
All right. Like looking puzzled, and then follows in behind him.
He leads you to right outside the door of the holding cell, and then brings up. He kind of, there's a little screen there. He just takes buttons, hits a few buttons, and the screen comes up with kind of view inside where Comec's giving this kid the third degree, the kid in this red jacket. And
do I know this kid at all? Is he familiar to me?
Roll me a. We'll just call his perception too.
And then, by the way, Erlo's kind of standing there, and he's wearing the bomber jacket, the jeans. He's got his hands on his hips like this. He's pushing the bomber jacket back, and his shirt is like an angel with wings and shit. It's like one of those kid ones where it's like, wow, right? Well, above it says Serenbe.
Heaven or hell?
And he has no idea, because Serenbe, it's Serenbe, right? He has no idea what this means. He just saw it was a shirt about it. And he's just like, but it's stupid looking shirt on him. But it's like, it's got like a rainbow coming up, Wow, it's Serenbe,
Stell, you take one look, and a memory flashes of 2 weeks ago when you were infiltrating that little apartment where you initially got the invitation card from Rufus. The ganger who you locked eyes with, who saw you just as you were exiting. This is him.
The one that threw the pistol?
Yeah, the one who you disabled their weapon, and hi, cat. You want my attention, cat? Yeah, it's that guy. He it's very clearly that guy.
Okay.
And just out of character here. Remember when I asked you to do a high or low check? Month or a while back.
I remember.
Yeah, this is that was a whole trail to see whether he would be able to piece together what had happened and track you down. And he had rolled. You had rolled that and not matched up. He gave him a chance. He rolled a nat 20. So the fact that he's even here is fucking spectacular.
And that's where his luck ends.
So with that roll and knowing all this, Vincent's going to put his hand on Rufus's shoulder, like I would say here, but I'm guess like down here. And he's gonna say, "I recognize this guy. Can I have some time alone with him?"
Probably.
I'm not going to injure him physically.
Rufus presses his button. Hey, Comec. And he looks up, kind of glaring. He's still shirtless, still got the punching gloves, but he's kind of just been giving kind of the glare. But he looks up, and I was just getting warmed up. He steps out and looks
hydrate,
at you.
big guy, hydrate.
He steps out and closes the door. Seems like just a scared kid. I don't know what this game is, but who is this dumb kid? Looks at you, Vincent.
Vincent weighs it in his mind a little bit if he wants to say or not. It has to do with what caused me to be employed here.
He was.
You'll get the rest.
Yeah, Rufus is like, wait, he closes his eyes for a second. Loose threads.
And Vincent kind of grins. He's like, "You'll get the rest of the information through the surveillance. You'll get the rest of the information."
Vincent, this is somewhat problematic that there's a loose end already. The reason that you got that card out of there is because we intercepted a package that was going towards going to some powerful players. If they know about us already, we might be in bigger trouble if depending on how far back they've already communicated this. It's complicated.
Give me some time with him. I'll see what I can get from him.
Okay. Yeah, so you step into the room
Mm-hmm.
and kid looks up and he's just, oh shit. And kind of just rests his head on the table in between you two.
Fancy seeing you here.
I was supposed to be a lot more clever than this. Well, you got me. You got me. You have some scary ass friends, by the way.
Give me a minute. That's going to be an intimidation.
Okay, roll it. He's getting a lot of practice on his.
There's no good cops here, apparently.
No, there's no good cops.
We're gonna beat the shit out of you, and then when you think the good cops come in, we're gonna beat the shit out of you more.
20. Okay. We'll just. He doesn't have a terribly good charisma, so yeah, there's no way. So okay, he again just kind of freezes. He recognizes that he's in a deep amount of shit right now. I need to switch tracks here too.
Good shit.
Okay, when we go up there and hit the old music box.
Mm-hmm.
Because it goes full blast every time you change tracks.
I wish I knew
Yeah.
why, because it didn't do that to me. Or
I
it's just
know,
my
it's
volume
so
is
weird.
fine. And
I have adjusted the starting volume of these, so hopefully they're a little better. But
I mean, I just move it down. It's not a big deal,
Yeah.
but
So
Just that first 3 seconds
Vincent's
where he's
going to
deaf.
do what
Mhm.
Vincent's going to do is he's going to walk up and take. I mean, we're in basically in an interrogation room where there's a table, a chair, and a chair on either side, right?
Yep.
So Vincent's going to walk up to the chair, turning around in a let's rap position.
I'm one of the cool kids too, kind of pose. Yeah.
please tell me you
The
do
Riker.
the
Riker
Riker
maneuver.
over the
Yes,
chair.
yes,
The Riker
yes, I do the
move where it's
Riker.
just
I
like,
do the Riker. Yes.
Yes.
Fantastic.
I can't
This is
step over
going to
this
be
chair.
in character. It is going to be in your best interest to be honest with me because he looks around the room, he looks at the camera, he looks back into the hallway that he just came out of. We have enough people here to tell if you're lying to us or not. We have enough people skilled to pull that information out of you. It is in your best interest to cooperate with me.
Well, why not make him disappear from the other side of the door? Arlo's just sitting there making his drink. He's got his feet up like this. And he's just like screaming random things, like having a conversation as he's drinking his coffee. You know,
Okay.
just so we can hear in the background.
I'll tell you what I know.
We'll know if you don't.
Get it. I get it. He kind of rocks a little bit. Okay, so my boss, Davi, Desi, Tavi, names.
Davi.
Yeah. My boss, Desi, tasked me with seeing all or tracking all the people who are entering your building. And we were led here specifically because I recognized you and was able to track you down through a variety of means. I've been casing you for a little bit. That's how I found this location. Because when you stole the items that we needed to deliver, and out of character here, this is you piece that Rufus had just mentioned that they had intercepted a package before you got there and basically replaced it with the calling card that you had received when you had infiltrated that little that kind of penthouse, which was, as far as you understood at that time, was just kind of it was just a safe house that they were kind of like, and they were supposed to do a handoff at some point, and you kind of had come in but you never stole anything. Whoever Rufus had to break in did. Now, because of how messy that whole thing had gotten, and really it wasn't messy, you'd mostly gotten through clean, and it was by pure chance that he happened to wake up this kid here, who, he introduces himself as Zane. He's basically says, from the second I've seen you, we've been in nothing but trouble since that point.
And yet you can continue to pursue trouble.
Because it's our way out. Look, there are some people that were asking about who fucked us because we had to go back to our contact. And this is all from Desi, just so you understand. I don't know who the job is for, but they wanted us to deliver something, and when you stole it from us, our only recourse was, we need to get information on you and pass it back so that they can deal with you.
So, my first question is, Desi, are they the top boss? Are they a middleman? Are they the person fully in charge of this?
They're the lead of the Crimson Razors. He shows a tattoo of a bloody razor on his forehead or forearm. There's
Okay.
10 or 15 of us. We do jobs for the Absalom First Movement. We do jobs for loading screen suddenly shows up. For which one is it? Sorry, my notes are everywhere. Aspis Consortium. The Aspis Consortium, which you would recognize this name as sort of like basically a criminal organization that's gone legal. Another one of those. Another, they have
headphones for 1 second.
teams all throughout the galaxy. They do a lot of weapons trafficking. They also were responsible for arranging a defense against the Swarm several years back when the Swarm first hit the Pact Worlds. And due to their assistance, they were basically granted a legal corporation status as sort of a, good job, try to do good from here on out, but no. But
So,
yeah,
out of character, from what I'm getting from that is because I zoned out a little bit with some of the information. So, is this the Razors? Are they they're part of this, or that
they are affiliated? They do jobs for them. They're kind of a low to mid-level gang that does work for different entities, different corporations. They run jobs for them. Different criminal groups, they do jobs for them. The Absalom First Movement, as we just mentioned, which are basically that group is a basically a human rights group. Essentially, they advocate for all the races of Old Galarian. They should be in control of the Starstone, which is the thing in the center of Absalom Station that basically allows for the drift to even be a thing.
I remember that.
It warps. It both provides power to Absalom Station and just all sorts. Yeah.
Names of corporations. That is next. Give me the corporations that are after this. I already know.
I told you I don't know exactly who.
Can you do a sense motive on that?
Yes, you can.
Not great.
That's a nat 20. Jesus Christ.
Jesus Christ. That is 100% true. He does not.
You use up all your nat 20s.
Yeah, I am. Apparently, yeah.
Fuck, dude. If we have a battle, we're fucked.
Like I said, heaven or hell, let's rock. It's either nat 1 or nat 20.
Pretty much, yeah.
But yeah, so you can ask a few more questions if you like, but you get the sense that he doesn't know too much more other than what he's told you. And it seemed like and from what you can gather from him, it seems like he was put in charge of this because this was specifically his fuck up. Like he had a chance to take you down, and he didn't.
I have another question then.
Yeah.
How long after you stop feeding people information should we expect somebody else to come along or some kind of escalation?
Honestly, it's sort of an existential threat to our group.
How long until you're silent? How long until, with you being silent, will they send somebody along?
I'm supposed to check back in tonight.
I get that reference.
Do I have like this out of character? Do I have some kind of earpiece or anything in, or are they connected? Like, can I?
You got a comm unit that's linked up with the rest of the team that you have, that you can kind of call them for sure.
Has it been on, or has it just been activated
You've
now?
just been. No, he's just unless he initiates it. Unless any of you, it's like a cell phone basically.
Yeah.
Or like a group conversation. You can bring everyone up, but not
Join
everyone
a Discord call.
is like that.
I've got
It's a
another
Discord.
question, and this is not in character. This is out of character. Is Ross around? Is Ross nearby? Like,
I
are
imagine
they?
you would be.
So
You're probably What would you be doing after this? Like, would you have anything you'd be following up on after that little exchange, or?
I probably would think the interrogation would be distasteful. Wouldn't need to stick around for that part.
It doesn't seem like your thing for sure. Yeah.
So, I mean, I may be in earshot if you holler, but yeah.
I mean, more interested in like the psionic or the telepathy than anything else.
Unless
Yeah,
you
you
initiated the conversation. If you did initiate that kind of communication with Vincent, you can.
Yeah.
I mean, that's up to you. I'm not like if you're not around, I can figure something else out. But I figured.
I mean, I'm always, I guess, a speed dial away.
Yeah.
Sure.
I mean, this is the future.
Right? Yeah.
So
I mean,
Call out to him. Telepathy, you'll hear you.
Yep. If you want his
Shit, man.
assistance, it's
Yeah.
right there, basically. Or you could even just get up and leave the room for a second and come back in. He's not going to.
Voice, yeah.
That's actually
Let's
a
not be
good
too
option.
technical. Like, let's remember the old ways.
That's
leave the
what
room.
I'm going to do. So he's going to look at the camera and say, "Hey, can you send Comac back in here for a few minutes? I need to talk to you."
Door opens. Comic goes, finally, and steps in.
He's got a knife and he's
and
like
as
just
Vincent's
sharpening it.
As Vincent walks out.
The Jack
he
Nis-
just brings out
Finally.
his fucking axe, and he's got a whetstone. He's just like, shh.
As Vincent walks out, he's going to reach up and try to put a hand on Comac's shoulder. No permanent damage.
No promises.
I need to test blade, and door closes.
I'm starting to feel
Okay.
kind of bad over here from the chair.
But yeah, so you guys are in the hallway.
So he's
Actually, just before we go any further, Valkyria, have you been observing this? Are you doing anything
Have
with
you
this?
been
Or
awake?
are you just having fun watching this shit?
No, actually, I think I was kind of in my own world, just planning out the heist, so to speak.
You're just still in the room, kind of planning. Just want to make sure if you wanted to do anything, you can.
Nah.
Okay. Because feel free to speak up, guys. You don't have to wait your turn if there's something
Well,
pressing
no,
that you'd
we-
like to be involved in.
We never wanted to speak one. It's someone else's turn.
Yeah, and I
Yeah.
appreciate that because it is hard to kind of keep
Oh,
things
that ain't
going.
me.
Right. Yeah.
That
If
ain't
everybody's
me.
talking at the same time, it's bad.
But yeah, if there is ever anything, feel free to speak up. I'm totally
Yeah.
welcome.
No,
We're-
I think she would just wait until it kind of dies down, and it seems like all the commotion has died off, but everyone's still around to kind of collect everyone.
Yeah, sure. Okay. Yeah. So Ross, Vincent, go ahead.
Okay, so Vincent's gonna. Rufus is, I'm sure, is nearby, like immediately
Oh yeah.
nearby.
He is watching this because now he is interested.
Okay, so Rufus is going
He
to.
lights up a
No, I mean
cigar.
Vincent's going to walk up to Rufus.
Yeah, he lights up a cigar and then kind of looks at you, looks at his cigar, sighs, opens up his case, offers you one.
He declines. I
Boring.
appreciate it, but no, thank you. So we need to orchestrate some way for him to keep in contact to give us more time so that we can look more into this.
Arlo kind of raises his finger. He's like, "Why wait?" Well,
because we need more information. We need to look into things ourselves. We need to find out what's going on.
we could have a parlay with her. Have him contact her and say, "Come on over." Why be obtuse about it?
That's certainly an option, Rufus says. Takes a
I mean,
drop.
this is Vincent's gonna look to Rufus. This is your business. You're employing us. This is your call.
They know. Put it this way: they know about us, and I guarantee you that they know. That's not the only person. There's someone else who saw what was going on. I'm almost sure of it.
Closes his eyes, kind of rubs the bridge of his between the nose and forehead. All I know is
More honey than vinegar, is
if
it?
it's who I think it is that we intercepted, and I'm pretty sure I know who it is because we have the files and everything. This we have to neutralize the Crimson Racers at this point. Because if they do report back too much information, all my plans here are going to have to be waylaid, and we don't want that kind of attention on us early. I will just tell you, it's likely affiliated with Mortimer Cadron.
Out of character, can I roll? I mean, do we already know about this guy, or
He was actually broadcasted on a about in the last session. His name was mentioned as a he's running for he's basically running for Primex in the next election cycle. And what your investigation with regarding Rufus to begin with indicated that he had some sort of run-in with Mortimer Cadron.
I remember that. I remember that now.
And
Yeah,
that's
I do
the
remember
reason
that.
he got ice out of the ASF. So you're wading into some complex waters already.
So then we need to find out how far up this information goes, or how much information has been shared higher up. Okay.
Yeah. Or
I mean,
we just
that was in character, by the way. That was in character, by the way.
Yeah. Well, that's one option. It sounds like they are aware of us right now, which is fine. I haven't been exactly not clear. He's doing this entire like calculus in his head. If you give me a sense motive just for kind of a quick kind of check here, just to see. And anyone who's around the area, you could totally make this check as well.
Dirty 20.
Dirty 20. Okay. Yeah. So basically, Rufus is doing this huge he's basically doing a threat evaluation right now. He's going through the facts that he knows and trying to decide just how serious the situation is. He seems concerned because what that 20 what you're able to definitely gather is just right from the get-go you've known that this guy Rufus seems to be very focused on this Mortimer Cadron. There's some sort of it's almost bad some sort of blood feud of some kind that seems to exist between these two. And Like his whole purpose seems to have been to set up an organization to oppose him without necessarily getting on his radar again. But that's already like this has already been that's already halfway fucked up already. That's kind of where he's at in his head.
Did Arlo get that feeling from 18?
Yeah.
Are we still around him?
We're all in the lobby right now.
So we all went. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is kind of, and Ren, you definitely be in earshot of a lot of this, so you know, like whatever you're working on, you can definitely chime in if you'd like as well. But
It's over in the corner. Looks like he's fucking the wall socket, but he's fine.
I mean, like Airlil, you have it's difficult kind of like trying to sort out like all the complexities of this, like just because it's a lot of this like corporation bullshit is like way new to you, right? You're not sure what to make of some of this, but what you do get is like he's concerned for whatever mission he has going on here and wants to keep that going, right?
Airlo's pretty much gonna say, we're all in as deep as you are, and trust is very important. He's just kind of like, he's gonna kind of like swing his like mug around, mix up the whiskey, and just take another sip because he's just like, just kind of leaned up on the counter,
Yeah.
What's the version of Coca-Cola in this setting? Because it would be that, and I'm sure
Space Cola,
whiskey,
Nuka Cola.
That's Fallout. That's Fallout.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, what would be a common drink?
I mean, honestly, at this point, it's already gotten to the point where it's Coke Prime.
Coke Prime.
Yeah, good point. They have a new flavor universe.
It's Coke Omega or it's Coke Prime at this point.
Mm-hmm,
I mean, it's 500 years, maybe 1,000 years into the future.
Yeah, I'll go with Coke Prime. That's fine. That's a good substitute for right now.
God damn it! Fucking
God,
music.
I'm already. Okay, I've got a whiny dog here, so I need just a second.
Yeah, you're good.
All right.
Also, goddamn, those carnitas was so good. Oh.
I ate a Chinese buffet earlier, so obviously I'm now hungry again.
I'm probably good for the rest of the night.
It doesn't last long. It's like soup. Delicious though.
Let's see. If I have any left, like a decent amount left, I might bring it up with me.
Yeah. Not good to me. I can stay near food. I never do. As we close this window here, I don't need this now.
It's pretty spicy though. I put like an entire can of the chipotle peppers and adobo sauce.
Yeah.
In it.
Nothing wrong with that though. Gotta make some more quesadillas. It's been a long time. Let me see.
I'll probably have to let the dog in here in a second, but so I'll be. Oh shit!
So he pretty much says
sorry,
like he pretty much says like we're in this as deep as you are. Trust is important, Rufus. That's where he kind of left off on it.
I can't get into all the details quite yet, and it's not because of out of trust. I do trust you. Especially you, since you have no idea what the hell's going on. He sure takes a big draw. Looks over at you, Vincent.
I should be insulted, but I'm honestly not. Sip.
But yeah, we are. I do agree. We're going to have to neutralize, or deal with the situation somehow.
We still have. I'm beginning to agree with Airlo that we should probably bring the leader here or try to get in touch with the leader and then figure things out from there.
Yeah.
It's ultimately your call, boss. You're the leader here. You're the one in charge.
They probably won't want to do it here. They'll probably want somewhere neutral if I was them. But that gives the problem of
we
a
would
trap.
have the home field advantage here.
I don't know if they agree to it, but
They
put me
they
on the
won't
horn. I'm
agree
pretty
to it.
charismatic.
They won't agree with it at that point. They would do something else. So I think what we'll do then instead is this: we will arrange a meeting. We'll let this guy go because I don't know if you're going to get much more out of him anyway. He's scared to shit. He's not much of a threat on his own, and him not reporting in will mean that they will escalate, but they may escalate anyway, regardless of what happens here. So, moot point, right? So I think what we do is we send a message back with him to say we want to meet and see if we can make some kind of arrangement. I'm going to put your full team on this, just since it fell into our lap, and it seems to be a good first thing to address. So your charge right now is to neutralize the Crimson Razors so that they do not report back in or they do not escalate this to the person they did a job for. We want that to fall on them, on the Crimson Razors.
Who will we be mobilizing to deal with this? Who is it? Just going to be the
Points at you, points at Arilil, points at Ross, points at Ren, and then gestures to the planning room where Valkyria is.
Okay.
Comek will stay here to maintain security. I would bring in our A team, but they're off in Versus right now, doing another mission for me, a fairly public one, which is what we need because I don't. And that's the other problem. I really did not want anyone to know about your team this early. But
well, we'll just have to see how far up that goes.
Can't control that right now. So right now we do damage mitigation. He takes another drag. This clandestine shit is going to be the end of me, I swear. All right, well.
All right.
Alo's gonna kind of put his coffee down, I guess, and walk over the door, and like open with Comek, and he's like,
well, "All right, in the interrogation room."
Yeah, he's gonna open the door of the interrogation. Like, all right, Comek, that's enough.
But I was just showing him how sharp these blades can go, and he's actually at this point
splitting hairs and shit.
He's converted to, instead of just straight up intimidating him, he's literally just educating him about his weapon.
And how well it cuts flesh.
Yeah, just like, so this can cut through armor of, this grade. It's a strong axe. It is passed down from my father from his father.
He's Armstrong! He's Armstrong from Full Metal Alchemist.
Aril's gonna say, "Can I have a minute with him?"
With
the boy, yes, with the boy.
I will continue his education another time. He gets up, please.
Arilo kind of like
Vincent's gonna follow him behind Arilo as well, but like prop up against the wall near the door while he's.
But good cop, bad cop here.
No, Arilo's actually being a good cop right now. He's gonna kind of like do the Riker maneuver over the chair, and just kind of sit down, and like his wings just kind of like feather out on the ground. He just kind of like does this he puts his hands on like the desk and he kind of leans forward. And he just stares at him, like just pupilless eyes, just staring at him, reading him. And he says nothing until like he starts squirming a bit.
I'm gonna get let's give Zane another chance here. He's had a little bit of time to calm down now. And honestly, at some point, Comek's lecture just started to calm him down.
Got bored. This Batmeth has been headed down to my family.
He stabilizes, I'm gonna say, unless someone wants to make another check to reinforce. But he seems calmer now, and he kind of just gazes back and is basically kind of has a tired face right now. This has been an ordeal for him.
Airlo's just gonna like, he's kind of gonna look at the table for a second, and look back up, and he's gonna say, "We're gonna let you go. Send a message to your boss that we want to meet." He's gonna kind of lean forward, and do yourself a favor. You don't have the constitution for this, boy. I've been around a long time. I think. Find something else to do, or you're gonna end up dead, in trouble, or in jail. You're young. You have more you can do with your life.
You see a flash of anger across his face for a second, and he just leans forward and just kind of right in here, just locks eyes with you and says, "You don't know the first fucking thing about me."
Airlo kind of stands up with his hands on it. He kind of looks at him. I know you got off easy, boy. And if I had my way with you, you wouldn't be standing here. So why don't you take your goddamn...
What, you think it's the first time I've gotten my ass kicked? You think it's the first time my life's been threatened?
Vincent from near the door follows in on Airlo about that. You need to pick a different crew.
Airlo's like, I can carry a lot and I can fly really high, but my grip is not the best.
You need to pick a different crew. This one is going to get you killed, and he's going to be another intimidation on that.
Actually, no. Airlo's gonna stop him if I can and say, like, I'm being honest with your son. Honestly, you need to do something else. Whether you're hurt from whatever life you had, I don't know. But the only way this ends is in trouble or in a box. You decide your future.
You said I can go.
You can go. But give your message to your boss. Tell them what you want. But keep yourself safe and find a different occupation.
You want to meet with them?
Yes.
Where?
Have them contact Rufus. He will arrange the meeting spot. We'd like it here.
All right.
And don't worry, they won't...
I'd say not here.
They won't... Did I just hear something from a room? No, he's like, talk to Rufus. He can arrange it. And Errol just kind of stands up. He just kind of like, he just gives this like a look. It's almost like a twinge of sadness, and just like kind of just walks off. You know?
Yeah. Well, basically, you're
it leaves Vincent there. You know?
This kid, you see a lot of different emotions that kind of flash over his face. He responded angrily when you're like, you're not suited for this. And there's a couple different interpretations why, but you're not sure what that flash was about. But he gets up and he's like, I'll pass on the word. Who should I reach out to communicate what I find out? To Rufus?
Yeah, Erlo's like at the door. Yes, and thank you. And he just kind of keeps walking. He leaves Vincent behind to do what Vincent wants to do.
And he kind of kid will stand up and then look at you, Vincent, like, kind of like, what?
I'll escort you out.
All right. He gets up, dusts himself off,
And Erlo from the doorway, and a red coat, to be conspicuous, really? You're not cut out for us, I said. And he's gonna head pops back out the door frame.
As he's walking out, and he does a quick exchange with Rufus to get his contact details, basically, so he can call him later. And as he's stepping out, he just flips you off. Oh, Ren, what's up?
Can Ren roll a whatever roll that you would deem appropriate to potentially shoot a tracking device on the boy?
Roll me a computer's check.
Computers check. Better not suck with a goddamn plus 11.
Kids today.
23.
So you're just casually working on the cybersecurity situation, still up, kind of setting up, different defenses and everything so people can't infiltrate quite so early or easily. You've kind of, you've had a second monitor basically pulled up.
Heard all this shit.
He's been watching the, the interrogations, and so you've know what's been going on. So as he's leaving, you just kind of run a quick line of code, or kind of quick terminal command, connects to his comm device.
Mind link,
And-
whatever. Yeah.
Well,
Okay.
no, it's literally a wireless connection. Like he's in the area.
It's
And
Wi-Fi.
and with
Yeah.
a couple of quick, or the equivalent of. Right?
Yeah, exactly. Space Wi-Fi.
The space Wi-Fi. And
Space Wi.
with a couple of quick commands, you're able
Spy-fi.
to kind of bypass his comm security, and just you got a little tracker, basically.
Nice.
It's a tracking program on it, so you're able to see exactly where he
We'll
goes.
see where he goes. Yeah, there you go.
Mhm.
You're
Google
welcome.
Maps, location services.
Yeah.
Pornhub
This is
account.
why it's important to set your
Jesus
security
Christ,
presence.
so much fucking space porn.
I'm looking at Spoogle.
Amazing. Oh my God, Spoogle.
Spoojle.
Fuck you.
What is this browser history?
Okay, so I
Pornhub
Just-
Prime.
just out of character real quick.
Whoa. Yeah.
That was all spawned from just a chance roll.
Yep.
That of Airlils, because I was not expecting that to come up quite so early yet. I wanted to see if someone would notice, and the dice fucking granted it. So very, very interesting. Very interesting.
Praise be, Serenray.
Praise me. Praise me.
Praise be.
Praise me.
We
Let
don't
me
want
check
any more
for my dog
semen.
real quick one more time, and I'll be right back.
All right. I hope that guy was important because I just popped back in. I'm like, oh, we've been talking to him for a while. He must be important. I gotta trace him. So, hopefully that was worthwhile.
Ren, what are you
Probably will be.
what are you doing over there, Ren, by the way? Not that I'm gonna understand it, but
I mean, he was just in the lobby, just constantly.
oh, he's talking to you. He's talking to you as
Hack it.
we're waiting.
Yeah, and he's doing the same thing. He's just like staring off, just staring off into the ether. He's like, well, I've been doing this, like data. It's like, oh, I've been, writing this sonnet, tracking this guy, doing this thing. It's like he's doing it all at the same fucking time. Like, well, yeah, I've been doing all this shit. What's going on with you?
Airlo's like at the Keurig again. He's pouring some whiskey. He's doing a hot toddy with whiskey with coffee. Having a drink. You want one? Can you drink? Anyone else
I
want a hot
can.
toddy? As he's walking to the door. All right. Airlo puts he just gets out the glasses, puts them on the table. He just starts pouring whiskey in each one, rah. I'll make 5.
Yeah,
It's gonna be a
sadly,
long day.
I can't get drunk off it, sadly.
Oh, but it's the experience, my friend. You're having a drink with your brothers. It's a great time,
So,
even if you're not getting
Barrel,
drunk.
barrel flow, floral notes. Beep, beep, beep.
Well, can't you write what is it? Program code?
Yes.
Like that can make you fake inebriation? 1 second.
2, 3, 4, 5. Flame, are you still with us?
No.
Damn it. He left. That was just
Totally checked out.
Any chance you're gonna turn on your camera?
Nope.
Oh, come on.
It's hot, and I want to be in my skivvies.
I mean, that's
Which,
not that.
which one? Are any of us showing the fucking crotch area?
What? What did I just pop
no.
back into?
But I
I'm
was
wearing
like,
practice training for you, Dar.
Flame, can you go ahead and show your camera? And he's like, no, I don't want. I'm in my skivvies. I'm like, which of us are showing our bottoms area?
Well, he's still gotta
Our
wear a
bathing
shirt
suit
technically
is-
on Twitch, unfortunately.
Yeah, I mean it's cool if he's naked. It's fine.
I mean, skivvies are naked, but still
I
above
just-
the
I
waist,
just-
is different.
I just love seeing like reaction or seeing everybody seeing that they're still here and all that good stuff.
No, I feel you. I get it.
Yeah,
But yeah, it was,
all good.
as I was saying, I was like, can you write a code maybe to fake inebriation? You can turn it off if you needed to.
Initiate drunk.
Ooh, you
situation.
are.
Program
you-
5.
So Vaden, one
We're
of the
gonna
things
work
that,
on this personality and human thing.
how much was like, were you able to catch anything that was said while you were away? Like, do you have a? Okay, I didn't think so. So
What?
Erlo's making hot toddies for everybody with whiskey and coffee.
so
We got busy while you were gone.
Vincent
Sure.
is going to walk back to the room where Valkyria was still staying. He's going to, as he's walking by, he's going to grab 2 of them and then take them into the room.
2 of them?
He makes
Yeah.
one for Rufus and Cormac and all that because, like, you know, everyone in the office.
Okay.
They don't have taverns.
So-
they were the best.
Also,
So
as
is
he-
I remember
specifically
taverns
Rufus and
somehow.
Comac into the room there?
Yeah. Nice work, Cormac. Very good job.
I
That's
will
what
go
happened.
back to punching things.
Hey, wait,
And he
wait.
goes back to the.
Hold on.
So I would
Hot
say,
toddy?
as Stell is coming into the room, I would like Stell to roll a perception check to see if he finds me doing something.
That is fair. Go ahead and roll me a perception check, so.
Finger bang, 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 finger bang, bang, bang.
Yeah, please tell me it's hot or something. Oh, that's not gonna do it.
11. The high rolls got to run out sometime.
Actually,
You see me stuff something back into my pocket, but you don't know what it is.
and bear with me 1 second here before we continue on. 'cause
Yeah,
there's
give me a
some-
minute here.
Oh, by the way-
I need you to make a save, Valkyria, but I don't know which one. So give me 1
I'll
second.
be right back in a minute. I'm not gonna be on headphones, okay?
Yeah.
It might be a few
Yeah.
minutes. I don't know yet.
By the way, as he was walking out of the room with him, he like looked over his shoulders and
So
said,
just
"Hey,
do Erlo shit
thanks for
with
the
him.
thanks for the alcohol, Erlo. Thanks for the booze." As he's walking in,
Oh, he called me.
Excellent.
You got it, buddy.
I think it would probably be a con save.
Yeah, there's like a specific track for that sort of thing. And that's what I'm trying to look up right
Con
now.
or
This
medicine,
is a-
maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, it might be. I don't think it's going to be a medicine skill check for sure. Oh, where was that? Maybe I'll just do a Google search here. Starfinder, drugs.
Oh, that's a life science if I've ever heard it.
Oh shit, that's a lot of money. Holy fuck. We might have to reconsider your thing of choice, but
Oh, is it
barely-
is the one that I'm using supposedly really expensive?
12,000, 14,000. You know,
God damn.
14,000 credits. You know, no big deal. No big deal.
Hot damn.
Yeah.
I feel like it for like a single dose.
This is a pretty powerful one though. Like you gain 2 extra stamina points per level. You gain saves against fear.
I mean, honestly,
give me
I wouldn't even like. I would say like just cut the price and just cut out the effect.
Oh yeah, no. I mean, it's fine. You're
It's
getting like
more for the flavor
cheap
at this
equivalent.
point.
Oh yeah, and I kind of like the drug anyway, so we're gonna stick with it for sure. We're just gonna do some tweaky tweaks. But anyway, make me a fortitude save, please.
A fortitude save.
Yes. Just
oh.
see how well you're able to kind of maintain. You know.
That's cocked. That's cocked.
Is it? Is it really?
Sure.
That's cocked.
Uh-huh.
Mm.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah. I imagine this stuff is like, for you, it'd have to almost be like injected or something like that, just because of your physiology. So yeah, you come in, or Vincent, and you know you don't notice anything necessarily, but you do kind of pick up that Valkyria seems to be a little bit distant, maybe preoccupied with something else, like maybe something's on her mind. I think
And
that's
then he
probably all you
also-
pick up on.
he also said that, or the Flame had said that Vincent had seen her pocket something as well as he had come in. So-
Like it's one of those like you turned around to say
Ingested
something
or
to
inhaled.
to Airlil as you were walking in. So like in the corner of your eye, you see me like quickly stash something in my pocket. That if you hadn't turned to say something, you might have seen it. But because of that like brief instant, you just barely missed what it was.
By the way, you either ingest or you inhale it. So either you're snorting it or you're eating it.
Yeah. It's edible. But yeah, so Stell comes in, or Vincent comes in, and she'll kind of like cough a couple of times to like clear her throat, and then she while seeming a little distant, kind of goes over the plan with him, which I sent him a message about, and then I'm gonna ask that the rest of the group comes in to kind of go over the full plan. So whenever the other two come back, I'll dive into that.
And by the way, as
So the
Vincent's
party,
coming in-
just to be clear, it's the party, not like Rufus or Comac, or it's the party you want in, right?
Yeah, party.
Okay, thank you.
So
Just clarifying.
As Vincent was walking in, he put one of the mugs down in front of him and one over in front of Valkyria as well.
Yeah.
And as he came in and noticed that they had put something in their pocket, he'll raise an eyebrow but say nothing. Not like, aside from that, not give any indication that he saw.
Still, I'm going to give you one quick perception check, just for extra detail.
Cause your eyes are the size of the moon.
9.
9. You don't notice anything. You Valkyria, as you're kind of like, you're just reeling from the hit. You look down at the table and see just a little smudge of like multicolored dust on the table that you just kind of brush aside with the back of your hand real quick off the table.
Yeah. Just kind of swipe it off real quick and
just
act like it was nothing.
Yeah, but this is some good shit, man. You're able to stay lucid just because you've been doing this a lot, but like you're kind of like, you ever get so high that, and then you had to like go out somewhere where you had to like kind of pretend you weren't, but God, you're soaring. That experience right now. Like patting yourself on the back too, like, man, I'm doing this so good.
Nobody could even tell.
Yeah. God, that acting experience.
normal.
But yeah.
Well,
So
meanwhile, I'm over there just like gnawing on my lip.
yeah. Little drool coming. Because I imagine, since this is just for out of character flavor, this is transdimensional Pesh for everyone. So basically, you're kind of like getting information from different like realities, like just little like bits of like, what if the universe was this way and in a different plane, what would it be like? Kind of like just little kind of flashes of that here and there, and it kind of takes you out of your head.
I would say it's almost like a psychedelic weed.
Yeah,
like
exactly.
Like
Sounds
spice.
like a DMT or disassociated.
And so you can definitely see things on this, but mostly it's disassociative, I would imagine, just considering your history.
Yeah. Whenever Dar gets back.
Yeah.
Dar here, I think he gets anyway.
Dar.
Right?
No, he's gone.
Yeah, he had something that came up, it sounded like.
Anyways, all right.
Hopefully
he
everything's
can,
okay.
he can get filled in when he gets back.
Yeah,
So-
that's fine.
Pulls everyone into the room. Rufus is welcome to join as well. But
Rufus
like, the whole...
looked like he was he needed to talk with Delara for a second, so it's just you guys.
Yeah. All right. So we got this little bit of a acquisition mission that we got going on here. We're trying to get a hold of a quartermaster of sorts to help us kind of supply our future endeavors here. Myself and Vincent have cased out the place as best we can. I've come up with a plan that I would like to put forward to everyone here to get your thoughts and see what what can be improved, as well as if anyone has skills that they think would be better suited to the situation. So currently, what I'm kind of mulling about is kind of to break it down. What we were able to case out is the security there is pretty tight. They have multiple avenues of distinguishing who shouldn't be there. Pretty much, if you look out of place, they're going to be on your ass pretty fucking quick. And we got it. I'm ballparking that with best case scenario, we've got 20 minutes to get this done. So what I'm thinking, and this is up for discussion, is from beginning to end. The plan is that I'm going to locate somebody within the lower levels who I could pass off as far as looks wise, and I'm going to distract them while Vincent is going to swipe their identification card. He's going to pass it off to me. I'm going to head for the higher levels. We're going to get either Sonny or someone else who is strong with technology to cover the virtual side of security, as far as kind of disguising me when it comes to the cameras, kind of just like not necessarily fully hacking it, but like deep faking my face or something to kind of throw them off my trail. After which, I'm going to go up there, going to make contact with the target, convince him that I have a way out for him, because as far as I can tell, a lot of the people that are working in this place aren't there by choice. So we're going to try to give him a better opportunity to work with us, something that he'll probably want to do, and be free of corporate overlords, the fucking pieces of shits. So once I get a hold of him, I'm going to have the rest of you created a distraction in the lower levels to pull the guards out of the upper levels, if possible, without causing too much of a distraction to the extent that you're getting yourself in trouble, but enough to pull the security away from where I'm going to be working. And while you're doing that, I would like Vincent or whoever else is available to set up a getaway vehicle stationed outside of one of the exit, service doors, service exit,
Yeah.
whichever word you want to use for it, on the upper floors of where I'll be
On the
stationed on the
primary
dark
floor,
side.
there is also a subway that links up to other places in Absalom. Basically kind of a underground tram, essentially, that goes straight to like the docking areas and such. So
Yeah.
anything coming from off-world would be able to come in pretty effectively. Sorry.
And I have a automatic, auto speeder, so I can take somebody on my back if we need to.
Yeah,
Not all pile into the same spot. Someone can hop on the back of my thing. We can take off.
So one of the things that I wanted to interject, Vincent has never told anybody about Sonny. I just want to add that real quick. Vincent has never told anybody about Sonny.
Okay. And in that case, it's more of a, like, whoever we have here, if we need to get a hold of Rufus to
I mean,
find
on
somebody
paper, basically, on paper, you have Ren basically as your kind of computer hacking expert, within the party itself. Sheena is an extra, speaking out of character, obviously. Well, I'm not even, there's not even a character to talk to, but Sheena kind of does her own thing. And it's connected to Vincent. Only a few people. No, you're fine. You're fine. It's hard to kind of separate out all this stuff.
No, for fun, is there going to be a convincing role from Flame to the rest of us? Do we all need to be convinced that we want to go along with this?
I'll let you guys decide how you take this sudden presentation, just for context.
Okay. Yeah, I just thought it'd be
for
fun.
context, though. This is probably the most words you've seen Valkyria speak.
Right. I'm like, Like,
since
okay.
you've been introduced.
I don't know.
because-
You haven't. She said, I think, literally 2 words. Literally
Yeah.
2
And
words.
so
to
basically,
me.
invites
The entire
everyone
time,
in,
I'm like,
and it's like,
"Who are
okay,
you
here's
again?"
the plan, guys. We
Yeah,
have
I'm
this
like,
mission. Here's what we're
what?
doing.
Oh yeah,
You're right.
she like has no concept of like, oh, let's ramp
Tact
into this. No,
or
it's
yeah.
it's this is what's going to happen, and you're going to do it because you're my team, without like the
God, I want to roll
without
like
that much
am I-
attitude, but
am
it's
I an
definitely like
asshole
I'm already
kind of
assuming
role?
that you're going to help.
Yeah, and I'm like, dude, what is my temperament for this whole thing? I'm like, I think I'm pretty. I personally, as my character, would probably just go along with you. I'm wondering if Dar needs to physically roll like a.
Probably.
Does he go along with you kind of role kind of
Just
thing?
because
Yeah.
he has been gone for a bit, we'll probably just take a quick pause here. I'll let you
That's
guys
good for me.
react how you like, and we'll
Yeah.
keep this roped in. But it seems like a good spot for just a quick.
Yeah, Dar's going down to the dock. I just got a text from him. He's gonna be back any second now.
Okay, no worries then. No rush.
Yeah,
But-
so I mean,
smash my dog here.
yeah, right, right. I'm gonna hit the fucking bathroom. So all right,
I
cool.
want to do the same. I'll be back.
Wow.
Thought we just took the break, and then everyone takes the break.
Wait, I can have another bowl.
Well, that was really good, Flame. I was just kind of marveling at the beginning of that. Was just like, yeah, that would be such a shock for you this taciturn sort of like approach you've given everyone. I do think I have to be fair though. Valkyria, I want you to make a persuasion. I think it would be diplomacy in this system. Just because you did just do a whole line of transdimensional pesh, but even with that, you're probably just like super into it at that point,
Oh yeah, I
Like,
think in this
just
case
riding
it's one of those
high.
situations of like I'm opening up the other side of my brain, kind of a thing.
Yeah, exactly. Very nice.
But yeah, that pretty much plays it out outside of like the minor details. But yeah, do all that. Have someone stationed at the upper levels to toss him on to get him out of there, because I don't necessarily want to bring him back down to the main levels where the distraction's going on and try
Yeah.
to fight through the crowd.
An
if
alternate
possible.
escape route is probably the best way to do it, especially if you
So-
can get on the outside somehow. Yeah, and there's a
Yeah.
couple different ways you could do that. I mean, you could go down into the tunnels. I mean, that would be dangerous though, because you're basically going into the Blue Rise Association's reserved floors themselves.
Yeah,
which,
I think
they got all
as-
sorts of shit in there.
I think as like plan B is to go to cut through the crowd, and plan C is to do what you said there.
There's a lot of different ways you can approach it, and honestly, I didn't design this scenario with a solution in mind.
Yeah.
I want to see what happens as much as you guys do.
I'm
this
just trying
feels-
to play to the strengths that I know of for at least my character, and then what I know of Vincent.
Absolutely.
Like you have like, I'm stealthy with a good bit of charisma. You're charisma with a good bit of stealthy is what I'm getting.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, you two complement each other in interesting ways. Like you're both do the same thing, but in a different way.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then Rend has, this technical expertise that, is his specialization. Ross is more of the magical component of that, where he can interface with a different kind of, because magic is a common thing in this universe. So there needs to be someone that can understand that whole side of things, especially if, even in a cyberpunk scenario where you're dealing with, these corporations and such, there are mages that are employed for security, for offense, for all sorts of different, industrial purposes even,
So who's the small Chinese person that we put in a barrel and hide into the
Who's
safe?
the Grease?
Who's the Grease?
That's Vincent,
Flame.
probably. That's Vincent, actually. In the current arrangement, it would be Vincent.
Yep.
He's the operative.
So we sneaked him already. He's already in the safe, and we're gonna try to break him out.
And then you let him out, and then he does his work and infiltrates the vault. And yeah. We're definitely going to have to do a heist episode at some point. I mean, this is heist number one.
You put this up as this was going to be the heist episode. I'm like, dude, I was just waiting. I'm like, dude, where's the heist gonna start?
Well, okay. Like, I actually did think that you guys were going to visit the tower sooner. I've actually got some maps queued up, but then right before that, I was like, oh wait, if Errol is flying outside, there's a chance he's going to see a guy who that wasn't just a spur of the moment thing. He has been there in my head, and so I was like, well, he'd have a chance.
Yeah,
and he got the check, so that's how the session's going.
Now, are we doing another break, or are we doing next Friday?
I think the actual mission is going to have to be next week.
I'm sorry, what was that?
But I'm mostly prepared for it already, so I'd be willing to do it next weekend if we want to do it. If everyone.
But this can't. I know from what you said, this cannot be a weekly thing. So it's because you already have it prepared and ready to go that you're able to do it.
I wouldn't take extra to build, so I would be comfortable with this next week.
Yeah, because we're doing the break thing. But I think for this one, I'm like, how can we just do next Friday?
Yeah,
and then okay, cool. All right.
Just as a quick casual check, is everyone okay with next Friday?
Mm-hmm.
Oh God,
I will be at Dar's
holiday?
I'm fine.
I think next Friday is
the 25th of August. Yeah,
is Labor Day the week after that?
Labor Day is 2 weeks.
So 2 weeks would be sucky for me. But
Labor Day is the 4th, so most people would have that Monday off.
Right, but I'd be leaving town on that Friday.
I have that whole week off, and I just had to cancel my trip, so
that sucks, man.
I've got a week off.
That kind of sucks, though.
I'm planning on doing a lot of planning during that week, actually. See if I can get some stuff queued up. I say that I'll probably be lazy and play Baldur's Gate 3.
100%. I mean, I downloaded it. I have not even played like 5 minutes of it,
man.
and I feel like I'm an idiot.
I'm way behind.
But everybody else has already gotten into groups, and they're already doing their own thing, and I'm like, well, fuck, dude.
I mean, put this way, we could probably pencil in one of them because
Yeah, I'm fine to join another Baldur's Gate 3 campaign if you need somebody else to play with. I'm fine with it.
Shit. All right. Yeah.
I mean, I'm gonna make an Oathbreaker Paladin now.
Okay. I hate to make you go through all. Actually, Dar, are you back, or are you still?
I'm listening right now. Yeah.
Okay. Flame, do you mind doing just one more quick recap of your plan?
Oh yeah. Yep. So, plan is, to try and get this quartermaster is to, I'm gonna go in, try to spot somebody who has
One quick interruption. Erlil, just for your context, you've just been pulled into a room with Valkyria with the rest of the team, the players, into a room. Valkyria just basically started outlining a plan to everyone. And so go on and continue. Sorry.
So in order to acquire a quartermaster for us to kind of supply our future missions and whatnot, we are going to what the plan is we got to get this guy out of the Blue Rise Tower.
Blue Rise Tower.
Blue Rise Tower, and to do so, the tentative plan, again, up based on skills, and I hit my mute button on accident.
That's what I thought. I was like, wait, what happened to it?
based on skills that everyone has, please chime in to. Feel free to chime in for better play out. But idea, Valk's gonna go in, case the place, try to find somebody who looks at least mostly similar to her, distract them while Vincent comes up, swipes their ident card, passes it off to me. I go upstairs to try and find the individual that we're looking for, while somebody who's tech savvy kind of covers the virtual side of the security, as far as making sure that the cameras don't necessarily pick up on me too well. Kind of give me his best advantage at getting in as possible. Have somebody staged on a getaway vehicle. I don't know if Ren's brought it up yet or not, but basically have your speeder parked out near the upper floors on the dark side of the building. Basically, when the light's shining, the shadow of the tower kind of covers it. We'll park that outside one of the like utility doors, access hatches, whatever you want to call it, on that floor. I'll talk to the target, get them to basically convince them, hey, we've got a place for you to go. Get out from underneath the thumb of these corporate overlords that are just going to run you into an early grave and piss on that grave once it's there. And then toss him onto the getaway vehicle while whoever's left who's available causes a distraction on the lower floors, pulling the security away from the upper floors, giving us the opportunity to get this person onto the speeder, get him out of there, and then just kind of walk out of the building as calm and collected as possible after that. Distraction doesn't need to be massive to the extent of getting yourself in trouble to where you can't even get in the building ever again, but enough to pull enough security out of that main area, maybe like a fist fight, something like that. There was one other thing I had. I lost it. Oh well. But yeah. That's what I've got. Any input?
In character. I have a question though. What is this guy to you that we're
To me?
helping? Yes.
To me, he's nothing more than a means to an end. I'm looking to kind of upgrade my arsenal here, and this is somebody that our benefactor, Rufus, has an interest in as far as acquiring for basically supplying us with what we need for our future missions.
I think I forgot out of character. I think I forgot the entire reason why we were doing this to begin with.
Oh
so that's
no,
on
you're
me.
fine. That's totally fair. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
it's easy to forget this shit after a couple weeks.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
yeah, that is the core of it. Is basically I'm not sure if Valkyria's shared the exact reasonings, but it was like when she went in to ask Rufus, "Hey, can you pay for some shit?" He was like, "Yeah, how about you do this for me, and I'll pay for whatever you want."
Okay, now I remember. Yeah.
Basically, this can benefit us all in the sense that you're going to be getting your gear at a discount or at some sort of better way of acquiring better gear so that we have the best chances in the future for our
From what you
partnership.
understand, Rador is he's a particularly good engineer. His specialty lies in drift engines and kind of like theoretical and experimental, applications of that kind of high level nature. But he also has a background in weapons development since his time with Chorus Endeavors and getting locked into his contract.
So
Airlo's gonna
I
say
know
like,
I've already got Vincent on my side with this. Are the rest of you interested in bettering the group?
Airlo's actually gonna look at Ross and Ren.
So, my only question here: what's the downside if we win? Who's are we painting a target on our back by removing this asset?
I think we already have it.
I think Rufus has the capability of covering the tracks of this individual in the sense of creating a new identity for them. Ideally, if everything goes off as planned, nobody should know our names or our faces.
Ayla, like, as he sips his, like, coffee, I remember flying 2 kids over the city. And he's like, that might be a problem. And just sips his coffee. He didn't say anything. Just like, internal monologue.
Mm-hmm.
All right, that seems reasonable enough. Yeah, man. Yeah, why don't you put me on distraction? I'll take a whole floor to myself.
Okay.
Ballsy.
Ren?
Yeah.
Ren's gonna. After a second, his eyes are fluttering, and then he kind of snaps his head to him. And he's like, 46%.
It's better than 10 or 1%.
I mean, it's not that. It's honestly of the plan that you just outlined. It's about 46%. So I mean, I'm gonna do what I can do. You said you want to use my my hover cycle to take the
if you brought
contact out.
If not, I just kind of...
he already has it out front. I mean, this is how he's been transporting around the city. So it's like, yeah, it's there. So this is what we're going to be using as a potential getaway vehicle for the asset per se. There's nothing faster, so I'm
might
down.
want to disguise it a little bit, give it a different paint job, change the ident plates on it so that we can.
That is one thing that you probably want to consider too. Is one thing you'll want to prepare. And Ren, this is definitely within your capabilities.
Yeah,
for sure. You're able to basically with enough preparation or a good engineering or computers check, you can bypass the ID tags on both vehicles and people.
Yeah. I'm assuming
them and just project or kind of spoof some different.
Yeah, like I'm assuming like everything's like Cyberpunk. Like if I do a good enough roll that if anybody looked back on the security tapes, like all of our faces would be obscured and pixelated.
Yeah.
I could roll that. I could scam it.
Or like the
security
system, if they lock in on you, they would pull a different identity from the
Exactly. We could obscure it to I look like I'm a car with some well-to-do people getting out of it instead of my motorbike. I can do whatever the fuck I want if I wanted to.
Yeah, and with enough preparation, you can spoof those IDs, or in the spur of the moment, if you get a good enough check, I'll rule that you can. You can do that. Just
I'm assuming
one of the two, just so you know, understand your capabilities.
Valkyria, do you want me inside doing a close hack, or do you want me outside doing reconnaissance and obfuscation? Yeah, I'm like, whatever the fuck that word is. I'm like, what the fuck? Obfuscation?
Whatever you think you need to be. If you think you need to be inside, and I would say probably go check out the place, give it a once over to see.
It's just, I guess that's up to you. It's whether or not you require, if you have enough fly skills, you can go in there and just do whatever the fuck you want, or do you need me in there physically trying to obscure things from the cyberspace?
As far as cyberspace, I have no skills when it comes to that, so I need somebody who can obscure my face when it comes to the cameras. I can deal with the guards themselves in person. I cannot deal with the cameras.
So you might need me following in with you, obscuring things. You do whatever you need to do, and when you're running out, I come out and then also obscure things on our way out. So it's a more difficult level of hacking than just just waiting for you to come out and hacking things on our way out. So if you need me to come in, I'm all for it. Just let me know if you need me to do that.
I will let you know that your ability to remotely hack into Blue Rise Tower is extremely limited.
No,
Without
I know.
either some
It had to
good
be close,
equipment,
yeah.
without really good equipment, or a spectacular check, you won't be able to, like, just like when you tried to do a trace route on your mysterious visitor. You wouldn't be able to penetrate the remote systems.
That's why I'm clearly asking him, because if I come
Honestly.
in there and I need to follow you inside, there's going to be more rolls than if I'm just sitting outside and doing one roll. If you want me to come inside, I'm here to help you out from a computer side, whatever. But then Vaden's going to have to decide whether or not I'm going to be doing the multiple rolls or whatever.
Yeah. Well, the other thing would be just like you could get through it remotely if you create a backdoor for yourself inside, if that makes sense. So
Yeah,
that is
like
one
going
option,
across-
is
yeah, that's
doing an
option,
initial infiltration and seeing if you can get a backdoor in, which would facilitate a lot of, advantages during
That might
the
be
mission
better, because if worst case scenario, if I fail and alarms go off, I'm already outside, and they're not looking for an interior intrusion because I'm outside. So that might be actually a good idea. You're right. That might be a good idea.
Yeah, I would say probably go in before we start the whole
Yep.
heist, so to speak. Get yourself a back door. Find a way to, so basically you can pull up on your speeder, park at that access hatch, be close enough to where you can access your back door.
Yep.
Block the security until I can get him onto your speeder, and then you just peace out on that speeder. I'll
Well,
be fine from that point on.
Do we want
I'll
to do
get
that?
myself out.
Do we want to do this episode?
I will let, if you have,
Because it's 9:43.
if
I
you
just
have
want to be
any-
respectful.
yeah, if you guys have any prep you want to do, this is the perfect time for that, to kind of lay out what you want to do. And I'm probably actually going to watch the VOD of this back just to make sure I understand the plan perfectly, and then I can just build it all, and we could have a good old time next week.
Okay, well then, do you want me to try and basically say that? Yeah, I pulled up, I walked into the lobby, I sat down, ordered a fucking Turkish espresso, and
Nice latte, yep.
then run my infiltration program. Do I want to do it this episode, or do you want me to wait until do all that shit next episode?
I
Are
would
you
say you
going
could probably do
solo?
that this episode, and then
You
we
want
can
to do that? Do
do
it
the
solo
actual
or with
heist
someone
next.
else?
All right, two people are talking at the same time. I can't hear you both.
Oh, sorry.
Sorry.
Go ahead, Flame.
I was gonna say you probably just go ahead and do that this episode, and then when we
Okay.
get into next episode, we can just dive right into the action.
Oh, then Vaden, what check do you want me to run?
Okay.
Computers or
So,
engineering?
by the
I'm
way,
assuming computers.
I just
but-
want to kind of give a little layout here. So first, and I may have to add some tokens before you can see it.
Yeah, let me know if I need to pull up a map. I can send to you or anything. I can pull you up a hotel map.
All right. So, we'll add Ren over to here. I haven't actually gotten like all the walls and the lighting shit done
Oh, look
yet.
at this hot
so
shit. Look
I
at
just
this
want you
hot
to-
shit.
But this is the entrance essentially to the Blue Rise Tower. Does everyone see the screen up here?
We do. Yep. Yeah, we do. Yep.
So, I'll just kind of do some points, and you'll see the fleshed out version once I get it all built. But, so up here is sort of like the building entrance, right? So beyond the north edge of the map here would be kind of the doors and such, and then the outer environs of the tower itself. There's a security checkpoint because this is an extraterritorial zone in Absalom Station. It basically is treated as a separate planet, or even separate from the Pact Worlds itself. It's corporate land, it's a company town. So you walk through and you'll see these like, kind of checkpoints going in and out where, you'll get scanned. If you have any weaponry, you'd be flagged at that point. They don't mind if weaponry goes in, but they do identify anyone who's carrying, and the security system flags them at that point, right? Once you get through this area, you'll walk through by the freight transports, which would transport out to the docks or anywhere else in Absalom Station. Just merchandise going in and out all the time. But as you pass through there, then you'd be taken to the mall and the second floor and the third floor and so on. Activate over here, bring you your token on, and then you would see, we'll say you'd enter in from here, and then they'd be up. You'd be technically on the second floor in this lower area, but then up here would bring you up to the third floor, and there's shops, and then it goes up to the fourth and the fifth, filled with shops. There are convenience stores, there are restaurants, there are theaters, there are cybernetic clinics, there are weapon stores, there's merchants for all sorts of devices. Basically, it's one of the greatest markets in Absalom Station, and to a certain extent, the Pact Worlds themselves. And things of varying legality, too. I mean, Valkyria might know this place because maybe occasionally she hooks up with someone who provides her the materials that came from here. But this is, one thing you notice as you kind of explore this space is there are definitely cameras everywhere on these floors. Everything is noticed. Now, there's not a visible security force on you or anything. Like, you're able to walk in and you don't really have any trouble. You go through the security checkpoint, a couple of drow security officers kind of check you over, or kind of flag you in. Did you bring your weapons in when you came to visit, Ren?
They're kind of in me. So
okay.
They're always. I mean, they're always on me. They're just inside in the interior. Yeah. So I'm not sure if that obfuscates.
They would get flagged. They would get flagged then. Absolutely.
Then, yeah, you're like.
Just the signatures, would just pop up. Like, okay, yep, he's armed with, this kind of, your whatever your weapon is.
He's essentially a weapon.
I can't
registered as a weapon.
I can't roll the, because it might be obscured with some polymer or whatever inside my body. I don't know.
I'll give you a shot. shot.
Yeah, I'm gonna try. Why not?
Let's I would say sleight of hand or disguise or stealth. One of those. Something like that.
Well, sleight of hand and stealth are the same. So I'll do stealth.
Okay. Yeah, and I mean, there's not actually...
Yeah, not the greatest. Yeah.
You are not stopped. And... you are never actually, like, it never seems like anything happens, but when you get like further in and you take a seat at like a restaurant and pop open like your kind of like personal terminal, like your laptop, you pop it open and you start running through kind of like diagnostics, you would notice that there is a kind of like a cookie essentially associated with your weapon. Like there's
they know I'm holding and they're tracking me, so understood. I probably would understand for most places in the station, they're tracking me. They know I'm packing. Totally fine. They're like, we know you're packing. Don't fuck up because we know you're packing.
Now roll me perception.
All right.